truth? Are you tired of being so confused? You feel like you're more fucked up than the lies on the evening news? Well, just step right in. We can talk about it all as friends. And if you want, we can hug and kiss and make up for the party ends. Agree or disagree, stop offering me. 'Cause I'm everything you want, damn sure what you need. I won't tell no lies, back up all the facts with truth. And if you can't get down with that, you must be somebody's new.
Hello everyone, good morning. Brandon from Still Point. Just wanted to give you guys an update on everything going on. Give a big hell yeah to Matt Spear from the Don't Unfriend Me show. The Barry Morgenstein photo shoot. There's Leroy. Look at him, looking great. Olivia looking stunning as always. Look at there, baby. Rocking the lid. Barry has done photo shoots with kings, presidents, the Pope, rock and roll royalty, Jimi Hendrix. Come on now. It's so awesome that our music is finally catching on after all this time. And you know we're going to always keep on rocking in the free world, baby. Make sure you tune in to the Don't Unfriend Me show every weeknight at 7 p.m. EST. The new stuff is dropping on all platforms very soon. We got it uploaded now, but we're getting on those Spotify playlists. You know how you have to do that. So be on the lookout for that. Go download it. Go support Still Point, and go support the Don't Unfriend Me show. Matt, Leroy, Olivia, Amy, we love you guys. Ethan, baby, we love you. And we will see you all soon. We'll get everything ready, and it's going to be badass. We'll see you on the stage soon. Keep on rocking in the free world.
It's Red Friday. RED Friday, which stands for Remember Everyone Deployed. A movement designed to honor veterans and deployed U.S. troops by wearing a red shirt every Friday. As simple as that may be, Red Friday is a great way to back those who serve our country. Go to dumbshow.com and search for Red Friday to get your red on.
Come on, man. Can you feel the pain? Into him now about this new world. Ain't no track. Papa's got a brand new eye.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show. Happy Red Friday, Olivia and Matthew Spear. Hi, hun.
Happy hookup anniversary to you.
Yeah, gosh.
27 years. 27
years. Chuck Peterson says, hi, Matt, it's the 16th today. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, it's probably in the notes. It's wrong.
You want to know what's cool, though?
What?
Because it was a Friday.
Yeah.
And the next day was Saturday, and the Broncos were playing a playoff game.
They were. And that's when I woke up, and Amy was sitting up there, and she had made me a red beer.
Tracy.
Yeah. Tracy and Scott.
Adam.
Whatever.
It's been too long.
God, I miss them both. I love them so much. And they had made me a red beer like they did every time after I was hungover. And they would come over and they would, make a red beer. and grab a tomato juice with 3 shakes of Tabasco, salt and pepper with a beer, and it's the greatest hangover cure in the world. They'd have it ready for me in a giant schooner, 20-ounce glass. And I came up and sat down and leaned up against the couch and Adam and
really,
Amy.
you're gonna have to tell this, huh?
Adam and Tracy both looked at me like, "What's wrong? What happened?" Because I was, my back was bad, but it wasn't even close. And I'm like, last night I was a little bit late. And like, oh my God, who's downstairs? And she's like, you've got blood on your shirt.
Sorry.
And Olivia had clawed my back a lot, and I was in some pain. So I sat down, and then it was Broncos, and I can't remember who we were
I
playing.
have no idea because I didn't have my glasses on at the
It
time.
might have been the Falcons. No, they're NFC. So I don't know who it was. It doesn't matter. And we were watching that. It was the Browns, Cleveland Browns. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But anyway, we were watching that game, and
I came up. I
came up, and she woke up with my shirt. I got the story, Liv.
Uh-huh.
She was in my shirt, and the bottoms, she wasn't wearing any, but she just wore.
I was wearing your boxers.
No, you weren't. Yeah, but you were wearing a super long shirt. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You weren't wearing. Yeah, and she came up, this hot little thing in a ponytail, fresh out of bed, and came up and slid up next to me and sat right on my lap, and gave me a kiss. And Tracy and Adam both were like, "What in the flying shit just took place?" And I think Adam mouthed to me like, and I'm like, "Yeah, I know." But Tracy, so then, she kissed me on the cheek, and then after a few minutes, she got up and she went to the bathroom. There was an upstairs bathroom, and Tracy's like, "What in the hell is going? Where's Matt? And what did you do with him?" Because usually Tracy and I, she was short hair, kind of a punker, but totally just conservative and strong and amazing woman. And but we had no attraction towards each other whatsoever, even though she had seen me naked, and I probably had seen her the same, and partied, and we were always together. It's just, we're just brother and sister. It was just a friendship, kindred. We got each other through political science, and we would study together. And but she would always kick the chicks out of bed, and she would, "Okay, sweetie, time to get dressed and get out of the room now." And I was a pig. I really was. I was a horrible human being, but I love my wife, and 27 years? 27 years since you had the greatest night of your life. The greatest night of your life. Like, she didn't know what she's just like, wow. Like, she was just like,
our wedding night was probably one.
Oh, that was incredible too. That was awesome.
27 years.
And it's still going strong. You know what I mean? It's like, attraction has never been our problem. We've always been attracted to each other. It's like, even when we didn't love each other as much as we should have, there was always there. Well, I love you. 27 years. I mean, how can you not? I mean, seriously, just look at this. I get it.
That's my line.
Whatever.
So anyway,
we got a lot to do.
Couple
of things. Go.
Announcement. Everyone asked for a second jacket giveaway in the month, so we're going to do them first and third Friday. So we are doing our 2nd January jacket giveaway today. $25 to enter.
Yep.
You can give as much as you want, but you only get one entry into the drawing.
Yeah, and you can enter, and it puts you at the end of the year. You can do the gray jacket, navy. I'm going to order ours today or tomorrow. For Olivia and I, we're excited for them.
And you can only win once. So if
Just
you
once.
won in, like, Jeff Oliphant won the first drawing, he can't win again.
Yep, can't win. And like Marine Flood can't win again. But if you want, get it going. You know what I mean? Uncle Stumpy says 27 years, almost as old as my underwear. Gross.
That's gross.
That's disgusting. Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
That's gross, Stump. That's really disgusting. But that's okay. But some people pay good money for that, so you can probably sell it online.
Yeah, but also,
there's
more news.
Wait, there's more.
There's more.
Wait, there's more.
So if everyone remembers, Damani Felder's going to be on the show next Friday.
Next Friday, Damani Felder.
23rd. He will be here.
Yep.
And just confirmed today, I talked to his publicist.
Just confirmed.
Chris Tonto Peranto is coming back
for a
to
full
the Don't
2 hours.
Unfriend Me show on Wednesday, February 18th.
Olivia's stoked. She likes Chris Tonto Peranto.
So I've been emailing, and we finally got a hold of each
I
other.
I
Yay!
texted Chris right after you told me the news, and I said, and I can't see shit because I've got my contacts in. Oh, he already.
Here you go. Do you need them?
No, thanks, Pumpkin.
It's your reading glasses.
You're such an ass.
I know.
Hate your face.
Oh, yeah.
It says, Olivia. I said, hey Chris. Olivia came home and was jumping up and down after you got back to your publicist. It made her day. You're a cool cat, dude. No way around it, man. And he says, Jeremy is a good army buddy and friend that runs the companies, bro. He's not a publicist. He's more of a bodyguard CEO, LOL. He takes care of everything since he's one of about 5 people I trust in the world. So always reach out to him for stuff. And no worries. Tell Olivia it's our honor, bro. So Chris Tonto Peranto, not only a Benghazi hero, but a hero to my wife. Stay away, Chris. I'll kill you. No, I won't. I don't know how. You're kind of tough, but I'll pretend to.
I think he loves his wife very much.
Oh, Tonto's awesome. Tonto is awesome. So we got a lot to do. First of all, goal is up. We're ready to rock and roll. So let's get that up. By the way, we should no longer have any problems with the goal. We fixed, knock on wood, fixed the cell. So it should pop up when it's supposed to, and everything looks good. In fact, Olivia is going to put in a donation right now and try it out.
Yep.
But we got a busy night tonight. We have a lot to cover, and we want to make up a little bit of ground. Colorado Avalanche are playing Nashville in a few.
And then we're going to go get Sweet Frog afterwards from Kimberly.
Tammy, you can't do that. Go ahead. De La Hosa.
De La Hosa. Yeah, $25. Thank you so much. And just so you know, she's actually donated at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon the last couple of days. So you can always donate early. It doesn't have to be during the show.
No, yeah, it's just awesome. We love to see it. I mean, when we see it, it makes us feel good. It makes us feel like we're appreciated. So we're going to keep going, guys. We're going to keep crushing this. We've got a ton to do tonight. Olivia has been quite the draw. I've run the numbers over the last 2 months. And since Olivia's really started kind of contributing and speaking out and you know, having a voice, which is great. It only took her 2 fucking years. People, God, you look good tonight. I mean, seriously, you look really good. Of course, it's our 27th, and it's Friday night. Pound it right here. Give it up. The ratings when Olivia's on are incredible. Like, unbelievable. Like, the view count is unbelievable. So we've seen some pretty damn good numbers, and that's good. So we're talking 6,500 to 7,500 viewers just on Facebook alone, and overall in the kitty, anywhere from 10 to 15,000 viewers right when we get off. That's good. That's really good. So we're going to keep it up. We've already got 100 plus on right now. Remember, donations for the jacket are open, folks. $25 gets you in it to win it. Tammy De La Hosa is already in for $25 in it to win a jacket. Mm-hmm. So Olivia is going to get all of these put in, and we will begin the show in just a second. Just take about another couple minutes so Olivia can get caught up because she's got a lot to do. Deirdre says happy anniversary and many more. Thank you. We plan on it. It's work in progress. It takes a lot of effort, but man, is it worth it? You going to put that thing in there, sweetie?
Yeah, I am. Sorry. I'm trying to do a couple things.
Deirdre has decided to chime in with $75. Happy Friday. I'll thank you, Deirdre. Deirdre's in it to win it. She wants a jacket. Remember, if we hit 500, that gives us our jacket, but if we hit 1,000, it gives us 2. Dave Wagner put in 20. I'm going to call it 25. Dave's a buddy. He's given plenty of money. Put him in it to win it, please. Dave Wagner gets put in for $20, and probably was just a slip of the slight, but he's in it to win it. Anonymous is going to be in it to win it with $50. That's going to give us 3 extra entries tonight. And we won't say Anonymous's name, but we'll go ahead and do this. Matt and Olivia got a Tim Walz and Jacob Fry DOJ investigation for their anniversary. Yeah, isn't that funny?
Ooh.
Happy anniversary. Yes, appreciate it. Okay, so we also had some fan mail. So I'll do that while Olivia does this.
Okay.
We had Kelly who said, hey, you know what, man? I've been watching the show for 5 years, and we just love your show. We appreciate you. Thank you so much, Kelly. It means the world to us, too. And she had some questions. She was like, well, first of all, what's the Insurrection Act? And the second thing is, what and who has done that in the past? And as far as like presidents, and can they arrest illegals without a warrant? So say run across an illegal in a stop, can they go ahead and arrest? So we're going to go into that real quick and tell her all about that. But with the Insurrection Act, it's actually a fairly long and distinguished line of presidents who've used the Insurrection Act, probably more than you anticipated. George Washington used it. He used it during the Whiskey Rebellion. This is basic American history. I think it's 1794 or something to that effect. Thomas Jefferson used it in 1807. I know Thomas Jefferson did it, and it was against domestic resistance. Abraham Lincoln used it in the Civil War, of course. Ulysses S. Grant used it after his time in the Civil War as a general and then became president. Rutherford B. Hayes also did that for the nationwide labor riots in 1877. You okay?
Yep.
Okay.
I swallowed water down the wrong tube.
Just tell me when you want me to mute it. Here, I'm going to mute it. Okay, you done? Okay, I'm just going to keep you on mute for a second until you stop dying. Grover Cleveland, he invoked it during the Pullman strike of 1894. Dwight D. Eisenhower did it in 57. Kennedy used it. Oh, yeah, and 57 was the Arkansas National Guard. He enforced the desegregation in Little Rock, as you know. John F. Kennedy used it, civil rights movement, in Selma and the Montgomery marches. George H.W. Bush, interesting, a lot of people don't know this, he invoked it during the 1992 Los Angeles Rodney King riots after that verdict that took place. And then we also know that Donald J. Trump has initiated the military, the United States Marine Corps in Los Angeles, but didn't use the Insurrection Act. So the Insurrection Act ultimately allows the President of the United States to deploy federal troops into states. Now, you can't use the federal troops on U.S. soil without the Insurrection Act, and it's essentially to quash or quelch a rebellion or an insurrection or an overthrow or coup d'etat, or if there is a threat to the federal government based upon things that are taking place in the state that can ultimately harm America. So the Insurrection Act is used and it allows him to do that. He can also usurp the power from the governor and take the state's National Guard in order, since they are a branch of the Army, although they are an independent of the federal military, they are a state military, they still ultimately report to the United States of America and the federal government. So they can usurp the power from the governor in the Insurrection Act and remove the National Guard under their command. Whether the National Guard listens to the President of the United States or the military commanders of high from the Joint Chiefs and the military leaders of those branches is interdependent upon whatever they decide. So those local commanders may very well resist the federal government, but that would be sedition, and they would have a whole slurry of issues after that, because then you have civil war. So that's the Insurrection Act. Should Donald Trump invoke it? I don't think so. He doesn't need to. You can use other levers, and he's been told by SCOTUS that he can institute military during situations of national crisis. My recommendation is to use the leverage of funding and dollars and get that tied up in court, and Minnesota will bow down fairly quickly. Jacob Frey and Governor Walz are both on the end of a pretty horrible career and don't have a lot of political power left. And the more that they resist, the more that they push, you're going to see that the tides will turn in Minnesota. Let's remember that Minnesota favorably in 2024 for Donald Trump. So
can either of them be charged with insurrection?
No, they're not doing anything that would be called insurrection at this point.
They did a lot worse than they said Donald Trump did, but
well, that doesn't matter. I mean, the point is it wasn't insurrection on J6. It wasn't insurrection when Donald Trump challenged and questioned the election, and it certainly is not insurrection now. But they are resisting federal orders. But the states has the 10th Amendment, and they can do whatever they want in their state as long as it doesn't go against federal law and policy. And although the President of the United States enforces the law when it comes to the borders and immigration, the states are responsible to conduct and execute those laws, not the federal government. However, if you have criminals that are federally charged, they have every right to go into the state and get those, and usually the state would supply some sort of aid. In this case, they're not. This is the conundrum that Walz and Frey have put themselves in, is by not providing some sort of support from the local and state police, you're putting the federal government in charge of policing that state. So it's almost de facto state of resigning their overall rights and ability to police their state by refusing to do so, gives the federal government no choice but to put in military or federal agencies to do the aforementioned policing.
Gotcha.
So that's why I believe he will not need to do the Insurrection Act. He may, but he doesn't have to. The next is the questioning about warrants and can they administer warrants? Well, absolutely they can. So here's the thing: when federal immigration,
Thank you, Anonymous. Sorry, one for me, the kids, and one for Frank Wood, who robbed his bank last drawing.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frankie. Frankie's going to be in there, and thank you, Anonymous, for doing that. So, like ICE and DHS, they need a special state warrant just for Minnesota, where they can arrest someone, and it's governed by federal law and the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. So they have to have a special state warrant to do so, to execute that warrant. But ICE agents can arrest someone they believe is unlawfully in the U.S. without a judicial warrant based on their federal statute in the Immigration and Nationality Act. That's the INA. And that law gives immigration officers power to take into custody aliens, non-citizens, who they believe are in violation of immigration law. And they can do so without first getting a traditional judicial arrest warrant. So they have that power in Minnesota as well. If they want to execute a warrant in a stateside warrant, they need that special warrant to do so. In public places, ICE may arrest without any judicial warrant if they have reasonable belief. In private homes or non-public spaces, they need a warrant signed by a judge to lawfully enter, just like you would if you were state or federal. That's the way that works. Administrative warrants can authorize an arrest, but do not by themselves let ICE enter any private domicile. So if they have an administrative warrant for something that is not a class felony or a violated upgraded misdemeanor, it's more of an administrative, they can go ahead and execute, but they first need to ensure that they get a state warrant issued by a judge to do so. A federal judge in Minnesota ruled that an ICE arrest that involved breaking down a door without a judicial warrant violated the Fourth Amendment, highlighted by the distinctions that I just said, which it does. It's a violation. You must have a warrant to go ahead and go into a private or public domicile, or witness a crime taking place where that person needs to be apprehended, or you have probable cause to enter that domicile because you believe that if you do not, you've ascertained enough information that a life could be in jeopardy or harm to a group of people, then you can go ahead and enter. If those things aren't there, you absolutely need a federal warrant. So that judge is going to wind up being right on that. But they can arrest individuals they believe are in the country illegally without a judge-signed warrant at any time that they want, and it doesn't matter where they are. They don't even have to be in a designated area that they oversee. So, for instance, if they're in LAX and they go to Ventura, California, and they're having dinner and they see a person and they witness them doing something inappropriate, they can stop them and talk to them. And then if they ascertain that they are an illegal, they can formulate an arrest from that point and execute an arrest, even if they're in California and off duty. So that's the answer to your question, Kelly. I hope it helped.
Okay. Put a couple in.
Do these laws apply to illegal aliens who have no rights, though? They have rights. Joanne Townsend donated $25. Thank you, Matt and Olivia. Happy anniversary.
Thank you very much.
U.S. Constitution. Thank you so much, Joanne. We love you. In it to win it, by the way. U.S. Constitution says that all people on U.S. soil have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And although certain laws and certain state laws and special judiciary exceptions do not apply to illegal immigrants, if you have somebody who is on U.S. soil in a private domicile, you have to have a warrant. And it's not the protection of the illegal that comes to be the concern, is that you don't know who else is there, and if they are an American citizen and their rights and their privacy would be breached. There are too many variables. So even if you're executing a warrant for an illegal and they're in a domicile, you would have to have a warrant that states that you would go in there because someone was aiding and abetting and harboring a fugitive. Then that warrant would be issued on that property, which would then encapsulate and capture the illegal who's also in the domicile. See how that works? It's interesting, isn't it?
Yep.
So there's ways around it, but you would have to go ahead and get a warrant based upon that person harboring, aiding, and abetting. So these little things, but it's a law. And you know what? I'd rather have too many laws that protect us versus too many laws that constrict our rights. So more protection on the 4th and 5th is fine with me. And they're doing just fine. Listen, we've deported 1.5 million illegals by self-selection, and we've 622,000 for the last year that Donald Trump's been in. We have a little video on that tonight, which will help. And we'll keep it going.
All right. putting some in.
Yeah, keep going. CJ Jenkins, $25 in it to win it. Wants a jacket, folks.
She says that damn Easter egg is making her crazy.
The damn Easter egg is making her crazy.
Good luck.
$25 donation in it to win it. You can win yourself a jacket, the Don't Unfriend Me Show jacket, official jacket of 2026, or the old jacket of the Dumb Nation, which is the 2025 jacket. Very popular. We've sold a ton of these. $25 gets you in to win. 1 entry per person. Monday drawing will be happening, and then all entries will be in the end of year drawing, which is going to be massive this year. We're going to make a big drawing.
Yeah, because we got 12 months worth.
Yeah, so we're going to make an awesome drawing this way. I don't know if we can give away a car, but we'll give away a couple things. I don't know. So if you're interested, there it is. All right, we got a show to do.
Maybe we'll auction you off.
We want people to put money in, not Jeff Oliphant donated 25, giving someone else so they can win. Thank you, Jeff. All right. We got a lot to do. Betty Davis. She's got Betty Davis eyes. We've been watching Stranger Things, and I'll tell you what, whether you like Stranger Things or not, it's the greatest soundtrack ever made. It's literally amazing. Kevin Bernard, we are at $2.95. We've got to up the goal, Liv.
Oh,
maybe you could fix that real quick. I could do that
real quick.
Kevin Bernard, just do $7.50. Okay. $25 in. Deb needs a blanket that's been rubbed with Matt's feet. LOL. My God.
It's at $2.95 right now. Okay.
So $2.95. Yeah, it's $2.95, and let's just put it at $7.50. Remember, folks, if we get to 1,000, we give away 2 jackets. We gave away 2 jackets last week, and if we get 1,500, we'll do 3 jackets, and we'll just keep doing it. All right, let's rock and roll. We got a lot to do. Busy night over on Rumble. Busy night here. We're already cooking. The thing I'm going to start off with first is these next 4 videos are all kind of synonymous. Well, 3 of them. They're all tied in. It's going to be a good show tonight. We got some really good stuff. Olivia's been on the interwebs collecting stuff. You look really good. I really like your hair to the side.
Thanks. I wasn't too sure.
For years, I've told you, always put your hair to the side. It looks so good. All right, reminds me of Darcy. So. Speaking of something that's 27 years old and going to get me cut, she's going to kill me. That's a joke. You said that once, remember? So I told Olivia when I first met her, I said, your hair looks lovely to the side. And then she saw pictures of Darcy and saw that Darcy's hair was to the side. And I said, Olivia, that has nothing to do with it. Darcy wore her hair to the side, and I don't really care. But I've always thought the timeless look of Elise McKenna from Somewhere in Time, Jane Seymour, Christopher Reeve, I love that. Like, that picture is incredible where she has her hair coming around. And, oh, God, that's why. It has nothing to do with Darcy. God, love of Pete. All right. So I wanted to start off with Charlie Kirk. And we're going to start with Charlie, and we're going to end with Charlie. Large Marge sent me to give you some sloppy joes. Yeah, those kids love their sloppy
Frankwood,
joes.
happy anniversary, guys. Love you like family. Thank you, Frank.
Thank you,
love
Frankie.
You
Appreciate it. You're the man. He's in it to win it. 2 entries in for Frankie. We'll make sure we take care of it. I want to start with Charlie Kirk tonight. We'll end with Charlie Kirk tonight. And this is Charlie Kirk on facts. And it's a really good video. In fact, the interesting part about this, just a little Easter egg, is that this video, a lot of people thought that this was Charlie Kirk's assassin, because this guy kind of trolled Charlie around quite a bit and followed him around on his speaking engagements, and did not end up being him. But just FYI, here's the video. Give this a watch.
I'm going to put one in real quick.
Okay, you call it out.
Okay. Mr. Hollandaise. Come on, baby. Winning the jacket is the holy quest I never knew I needed. IYKYK, the movie.
Get Dodie in. Dodie, you don't have to just tell me. Just say, Matt, I want a ticket. Just, you guys, we're family. You don't need to write a diatribe. Dodie needs a ticket. Get her in.
We already have.
We've got so many extra entries. Just get her in there. Get her in there. Get Dodie in there.
Got it.
And if we don't have any extra entries, we'll just pay for it. Just get her in there. Just so we don't have to listen to her.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
Is she gonna kill me?
Yes,
she's like, fuck you, Matt. Love you, Dode. So I used to call her Dottie.
Dottie is what I used to call her.
But that's a good. I think I'm gonna still call her Dottie. Dottie's a great.
That's what my grandma went by.
Dottie's a good name. I love it because it was from the movie. Oh crap. Lois, $25 in it to win it. Can't wait to get a jacket. Go get him, Lois. Tootsie. He called called her Dottie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My grandma went by Dot or Dottie. Her name is Dorothy.
Yeah, that Dorothy is why she's called Dottie, because she's Dorothy. Yep. Dottie is a name for, just like Dick for Richard. Okay, is this one, we're done now? Good. Yes. Suzanne McGoran, $25. In it to win it. Thank you for all you do. No, thank you. Suzanne's in it to win it. Let's go. Let's go. Kat needs a ticket. See, Kat got it. Kat knew. Dodie, don't you better be mad at me. I could use a ticket this week, Janet says. Janet needs a ticket. Kat needs a ticket. Dodie needs a ticket. Okay. All right. Everybody good? Everybody good? Okay, good. We got all our tickets. Let's go. We got to go. We got to go. Here's Charlie Kirk. Watch this. This is great. Dodie, don't be mad at me. I love you. What? Kat Alkire.
And Dodie.
Janet.
And then Janet Crenshaw.
And Dodie. Hold on. Kat, Dodie, Janet.
Crenshaw. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Perfect. And we still have 3 extra entries because people rock.
Okay. Jose says, if you're gonna talk about Jews, I'll be gone in a minute. I'll check it out. Whatever. Okay, bye.
Through generations.
If that argument is true, I'm gonna disprove that argument in 2 questions. Okay. What's the richest group by race in America right now?
Dodie says, I wasn't asking. I was just complimenting, asshole. Okay. That a girl. God, I love her. So you don't need a ticket? Jeez.
Oh, goodness.
God.
That's awesome.
All right.
She knows how to give it right back to you.
Tammy Caller needs a ticket. Sue needs a ticket. Papa and Mama Saw need a ticket.
I already got her.
All right, I'm gonna go play this. I gotta play. We gotta go in these videos. Tammy Caller, Koeller, I think. There it is.
The richest group by race. I'm sure you're going to refer to.
I'll give you a hint. It's not white people.
It's Asian Americans followed by Indian Americans.
Right. Correct.
Asian Americans had a pretty tough 1940s and 50s, wouldn't you say? They were put in internment camps, institutional racism, bitter racism. And so you tell me how they broke out of that to become the richest group in America by race, more so than white people.
Okay, you would have to prove that the Japanese that were interned in the 40s, that it is their family that is has now ascended to a position of wealth. It doesn't necessarily compute that they were disadvantaged during that period and now they overcome.
So why don't you prove to us that in your generation that the people that were poor that held on to the middle class are still middle class today? It's the same argument. Like you're making it seem that all white people had your experience. You're saying to us that we can't refute it by telling you that Asian Americans are at the top of society today. Are you able to prove to us that every white person that lived in your time is rich today?
That's exactly.
And why aren't
right.
they at the top of society if that is the answer? Why aren't they, the people that you just said were privileged, why aren't they on top of the Asian Americans in this country? What? Because we certainly know that the Asian Americans were not privileged. Not in America at that time or anywhere else.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
Wealth.
Gosh, remember when Candace was just not crazy?
It's starting to like be in very, very back of my memory because I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, it's really hard to tell.
Hard time.
Uncrazy Candace with crazy Candace, but it's an interesting point. It's an interesting point. Why don't facts matter to liberals? Debbie Boggs donated $25. Happy anniversary, and she's in it to win it. Happy anniversary to you. Outstanding. So here's the deal. This is a perfect segue for what we're going to talk about when it comes to ICE. Tommy Cawthon donated $25 in it to win it. Thank you, Tommy. I did a video today that's based on facts. Now follow me on this. You too, okay?
Yes, I'm following.
Follow me on this.
Did you say thank you to Thomas Cawthon?
Yeah, I said hi, Tommy. I said thank you, Tommy. Okay, so you've been hearing this in liberal media. You've been hearing this around talking points on shows and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And James is like, Candace was on Adderall back then too. Yeah, she's off. Here's the thing: is that you hear this stat, and it came out a few weeks ago, about a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
And ProPublica, which I read everything. ProPublica put out a post that basically said, "Hey, so far in 2025." U.S. immigration, DHS, ICE, has illegally detained 170 people, and this is verified. Now, I want to make sure you understand the word verified or confirmed. When I say 170 people were detained and it's confirmed, does that mean that 170 people were actually illegally detained? If it's a confirmed report?
Yes.
No, it's not. Because then if I say it's substantiated or unsubstantiated, does that mean the same thing as confirmed?
That I don't know.
It doesn't. So if we look up the word, now it's important because words have meaning and these are facts, right? So if we looked up the word confirmed, let's do that together.
Okay.
Confirmed means verified is true, accurate, or certain after checking evidence, facts, or reliable sources. So that is confirmed.
Okay.
How about substantiated? Now, when you say substantiated, means supported by evidence or proof that shows a claim is valid or credible. Ah. So now let's go ahead and listen to what ProPublica wrote. 170 confirmed reports of American citizens being detained or illegally held. What is that saying? Confirmed reports.
That means it's confirmed. So 170 people were illegally detained.
No. What it's saying is that there is 170 confirmed reports. There's reports of it.
Oh.
So you have to listen and read and understand to comprehend. So when ProPublica says there's 170 confirmed reports, it means that there's reports that exist and it's confirmed that they're actually real. Because there's unconfirmed reports too. Watch this. Hey, Liv, you're a bitch. Well, that's unconfirmed. I'm going to file a report that my wife's a bitch, and here's all the things that she did. Well, now you have a confirmed report that Olivia is a bitch, but we all know that that's not true because you're sweet as pumpkin. But that is the difference between a report that's confirmed and unconfirmed. And it says that. Now, substantiated is proving that something is true that has been claimed. So why didn't ProPublica say there's 170 substantiated reports of malfeasance from ICE due to illegal detainment or apprehension of American citizens? Why didn't they say that? Because words are very important, and they don't have those stats because ICE, DHS, and the .gov, they don't track those numbers. The numbers are so infinitesimally small that it's just not something that they track. They get reports. They get claims, but what they find out is that these people maybe didn't have an ID. They find out that these people avoided apprehension. They find out that those people were in a car, illegals, and were detained because of the illegal, not because of them. So they find out that there's just no reason to track this because the reports that they do are so small, and those reports usually fall by the wayside. So Democrats have been using it. So I said, fine, you can have those 170 yourself, even though they are not substantiated yet or have been found to be untrue, even though they're confirmed reports. Because what ProPublica did is went to each state and started asking questions. Hey, do you guys have anybody who's complaining? Yeah, we do. We've had 10 this year. Okay, we've had 15. They didn't say they were true. They didn't say these were actually substantiated claims. So what I did is I took the overall amount of deportations that they've had that have been self-selected, 1.6 million, and the 622,000 that have actually been apprehended and detained and deported by ICE. And I did the math on that, and this is what I came up with. And people are saying, those are made-up facts. 170? Of course there's more than 170. And my response is, go find it. I'm willing to admit I was wrong. Go find the stat that tells you how many, knowing that it doesn't exist.
Facts only matter to them when it supports their narrative.
Right.
And if the fact doesn't support their narrative,
then they move the goalposts. Oh, well, you really think 170 happened after millions of interactions? Of course it's more. Well, then prove that. We can't. Oh, so facts don't matter. Facts only matter when they agree with you. This is why liberals don't appreciate facts, because they don't care about the facts. They only care about the narrative.
Yep.
And this is what he was saying. Here we go. Watch this. Here's the video I did today.
Months, there have been 170 confirmed cases where an American citizen was temporarily or improperly detained by ICE. These are reported, they're documented, and not ignored. but also not automatically a sense of wrongdoing. Why? Because there are always mitigating circumstances in every situation. Some of those individuals refused to provide identification. Some were traveling with illegal migrants. Some were actively obstructing officers. And others were involved in false reports or confusion created on scene. That matters. Context matters. Well, it matters to some of us. And when we talk about the numbers, in that same 12-month period, ICE carried out roughly 622,000 forced deportations, not including the 1.5 million of voluntary deportation. That puts the improper temporary detention rate at 0.027%. Read that again. It means ICE got it right 99.973% of the time. If you compared that error rate to any law enforcement agency worldwide, ICE would be the gold standard. No department on earth operates at zero mistakes. None. Courts don't, police don't, militaries don't. Yet ICE is held to a fantasy standard no one else is expected to meet on the planet. This isn't about facts anymore. It's about narrative. And the narrative collapses the moment you look at the data. And in the end, it's just true. ICE isn't reckless. ICE isn't targeting citizens. ICE is one of the most accurate enforcement agencies operating today on planet Earth. And anyone pretending otherwise either hasn't done the math or is lying on purpose.
Drop it hard.
In the last 12 months,
That video should be going viral.
Of course it's not.
Every single person should be sharing that video right now because it destroys the narrative that is going on. You're all talking about Minnesota. You're talking about Los Angeles. We're talking about Chicago. We're talking about Louisiana. We're talking about the riots that are going to be impending. And that video, listen, it's amazing that I can do a funny cat video and it gets 30 million likes, but something like that, which is factual, accurate, and literally destroys the talking points of the Democrats. Because here's the counter argument. They're going to say, you really think only 170 have happened? Show me the real number. Well, there isn't one. Well, then what are you complaining about? Well, because we know it exists. Show me. Well, it does. It does. Well, now you understand when conception happens. See, sometimes you just know things. And I do believe that we have absolutely apprehended and detained American citizens against their will. I believe, of course they have. Because if you look at every other department, it happens. It happens in the police. It happens in the military. It happens with the judicial branch. It happens with all forms of government at all levels. In fact, about 75% of cases where officers detain somebody, most of those turn in release without any formal charges. Of course, ICE detains people, but that's not the question. The question is, you say you have a guaranteed number of 170, and I'm showing you why that number is full of shit, and then I'm showing you why you're full of shit. And that's why you don't want to listen to me. And that's what Charlie Kirk was good at. And it's what I'm good at. And it's called facts and using their arguments against them. They don't like that. You know who else doesn't like that? These people.
I'm going to put one in real quick.
Oh, no. You're busting the flow. Oh, dude.
It's been sitting there for a while.
Do it.
Chucky Peterson, $25.
Chuck is in it to win it.
Thank you.
$546.99, folks. Chuck Peterson is in it to win it. Now I got to break the mojo, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. Remember, tonight we are doing the $25 jacket entry. You're like, wait a second, Matt. It's not the first week of the month. No, but people have said they want it every 2 weeks now. They want a chance to win, so we're going to give it to them. We're going to do another jacket. Every $500, we're giving away a jacket. These jackets are worth $122 a piece. They're not cheap. So $25 gets you one entry per person, Monday drawing, but it also goes to the end of the year. So if you do it 12 times, you're going to have 12 entries into the end of the year drawing. And the last one was like $600. It's going to be 10 times bigger than that. I'm telling you, it's going to be huge. It's going to be in the thousands of dollars. I promise you. This giveaway is going to be a rock star. I'm working on stuff right now. So if you want to get the jacket, $25 gets you in. Go to thedumbshow.com/donate. Also, my beautiful wife, Olivia, is going to hold up a bag of coffee. What? Coffee at the Don't Unfriend Me show? Yes. 6 different bags, 6 different flavors, brewed by veterans, owned by veterans. Pizzeria, winery, and now coffee brewer. This guy gets this stuff out in 24 hours. He roasts it. You are going to literally get it within 5 days, roasted. You're going to open up the bag. It's going to fill the whole kitchen. I'm not kidding. It smells incredible. It's oily, amazing, good coffee. If you could go ahead and get Quaker State 10W30 to perform better than this coffee and taste this good, I would buy that for $1. Go over to thedumbshow.com and get some coffee. Here are the target nutters. The people who don't like facts, they do this instead. I got to admit, this one's harmonious and actually kind of nice. The singing of the liberals.
We shall not be moved. We can stay here all day. We shall not be moved, just like a tree that's planted by the water.
We shall not be moved. We are shopping elsewhere. We will be moved. We are shopping elsewhere. We shall not be moved.
At least they've got good voices this time.
We shall not be moved. Hi, puppy. My singing is so good. My dog came in to see what the amazing, beautiful music was.
Hi, baby girl.
She probably thought a cat was dying. Hello. Hello, my beautiful pup. That's what happens when people can't handle facts. You go into a Target. Shouldn't they have went into a Walmart instead?
It's probably, it's
Probably
more their speed.
Yeah, it probably all would have been shot. So listen, I
mean, the fact that they're trying to support illegal aliens and Mexicans, Walmart's more their speed.
At least they sounded good. They sounded very good.
Yes, they had good voices this time.
It was very, very well done. I'm not going to lie. It moved me. You know, the whole point was not to be moved, but I was moved. I'm not going to lie. It was better than those shrieking cats that they usually put up. You gonna put one in there, sweetie?
Yes.
We're moving on to the next topic. Liv.
Yes.
Can you imagine anyone on the planet who doesn't? There's people on the planet who have no idea about air conditioning, right?
I'm pretty sure,
yeah.
yes.
There's plenty of people.
Yeah.
And there's people who don't
countries.
They don't have iPhones, right?
Yeah.
Right. But do you think there might be a group of people who have never seen fire?
Maybe. I doubt it, but maybe.
Yeah. Do you think that there's anybody who's never seen a bottle of water?
Yes. I'm pretty sure.
Think there's anyone who hasn't seen some sort of clothes?
I'm pretty sure every civilization has some sort of coverings.
Isn't it amazing that there are actually people out there who've never seen a camera? They've never seen a plane. They have no idea what a plane is. Never seen anything close to it. They don't know what a gun is. They've never seen a lighter. They've never seen matches. They've never seen what any conventional weaponry. They don't know antibiotics. They don't know what an aspirin is. They don't know anything about carbohydrates or protein or electrolytes. They don't know anything about democracy or CNN or the latest Strangest Things episodes. They've never heard music before, except for the music that they've created themselves with their reeded type instruments. Can you believe that there are Amazonian tribes that are still around today that have never even seen a white person?
Yes, I do.
Well, here's a video of white people interacting with an Amazonian tribe, which I do not recommend for your health. Because not only do these people have a very rudimentary level of communication, they also have a very barbaric way of living when it comes to evil spirits. And can you imagine if Dylan Mulvaney showed up in an Amazonian tribe, that they would think that that was not Satan himself, or that they needed to sacrifice all the children in order to castigate him back into
their souls.
the lower rings of the volcano for which he came. Watch this video. This is really intriguing.
But see, as they come closer, they start laying down their... See, he's laying down his bow and arrow.
And now they're all standing in a relaxed...
Yeah.
Smiling? Are they smiling?
Smiles come at some point. I would say that one of these guys seemed like in a leadership position. He did most of the talking.
Did you have a sense of hierarchy at all? Like the boss?
Again, there was just these two dominant guys, and like this guy and one other guy who looked almost like him, like his brother.
Yeah.
A lot of gesturing.
Wow.
But see, even that, as he's pointing, we're going, what are you pointing at?
Oh, they gave him food. Cool.
Yeah, they put a plantain. Sorry, there's no good place for the video, folks, for Olivia and I here. There's nothing we can really do. Just leave it. But they put out plantain and put it on a boat and they are like, this is like one of their number one food sources. This is like putting out like a ribeye that was slow smoked and cooked for 2 days.
You guys are nuts. You guys are nuts.
You see as though they're rushing in, there's this desperation, they're hungry.
But see, they were also linked. They also understand that the river at any point can pick up and wipe them away. But if they move in force, they disperse the energy of the water by using the first person in front to the person in the last in order to create a balance, which is really interesting. They move in unison. They teach this to you in Buds and others when guys are doing sit-ups in the water. And that if everyone lifts together, the weight distribution is less. But if you got one or two guys who aren't pulling their weight, it actually exponentially gets worse down the chain. So it's really kind of amazing that they understood to move in that way. They understand fluid dynamics better than probably most people.
Well, we had the centuries of passing down that information, evolution within their tribe. They haven't evolved into present day, but they know that, I'm pretty sure, a few ancestors got swished away by the water, and they realized, okay, we got to do this when we walk across the river, and blah, 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 blah. But I'm sure they've learned.
Let's not forget ancient civilizations and what they achieved.
Moment where we'd given them the plantains, we'd given them the bananas, and he'd said, look, that's it. He said, we've given you what you asked for. You asked for bananas. We don't cut the trees here. All of us here are not tree cutters. We're indigenous people, and he couldn't explain who the hell we were, but they were like, we don't cut the trees. We're not the loggers. And they're like, okay. So then at some point, Ignacio went out and like sort of like started, he'd go like this and they'd go like this, and he'd like.
So your first reaction is, wow, that's cool. My first reaction is,
that's really dangerous.
That's really stupid. It's really stupid, really dangerous for both parties. I mean, not just the people who are filming, but also the tribes.
Yeah,
That's what wiped out the Native Americans. Yeah,
you could they could throw a spear or like exactly think you're the devil, but they've never been around any type of modern sickness.
Right. Or if they have, they could also carry a pathogen that we are not
used to,
resistant to. And you could bring something into your neighborhood or your water system, which is insane. This isn't new. They've discovered these tribes about 12 years ago, and they've known that they've existed, but there's hundreds of them, and they are not friendly. And a lot of them, I mean, they got cousin Bodie from Joe Biden. Remember? They put him in barbecue sauce, supposedly. He got eaten by cannibals. Uncle Bosie from Biden. But so when I saw it, I was like, that's really interesting. Like, that's really interesting and really stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to be a lib-lab, but you could literally wipe out their entire tribe. And,
just go sneeze on them.
Yeah, what are they going to do? They don't know what to do. I mean, when you think, we've got to get the village elder to run to the hospital. They don't know what a hospital is. They've never seen a white person. They don't have communication. Their communication are tongas and smoke signals, or wiping the virgin blood of a child on a piece of stone and throwing it over their shoulder. I mean, these people are essentially they're not even in the Bronze Age. I mean, they're not even in they're not even in the Stone Age. A lot of these people are using bamboo reeds as weaponry and using sharpened sticks. They're not even in the Stone Age. A lot of them don't know. They don't make fire. They don't know how to make fire. So, not a good idea. You know what I mean?
Nope.
That's all I'm saying.
Yep.
Now, there's a couple hot ones there. Take them back with you. But otherwise, just get out of there.
Just
put that
knock
in
them over the head. And
Unga
throw them on your shoulder.
Unga boonga. Me big wampum. Wrong. Native. Go ahead.
Thank you. Bumblebee tuna.
Bumblebee tuna, your balls are showing.
Exactly.
Bumblebee tuna, your balls are showing. Joseph Hillstrom. Holy shit, did you spell that horrible? Joseph Hillistrium. Donate 25. In it to win it. Come on, visit Minnesomalia. Yeah, Uncle Bosie. What a wanker. Folks, we're at $571.99. One jacket is guaranteed. We're trying to hit $750 to $1,000. Just because we would like to hit 1,000 so we give away 2 jackets, but it's up to you guys. $25 is in it to win it. People win a beautiful, comfortable, gorgeous jacket. We're doing this now twice a month because it has been
demanded.
Very, very popular. And because of that, we're going to continue to do it. And we hope that you participate with us in the process. Here it is, real simple. $25 enters you into the contest. You get 1 entry. If you want to help out and give more, you can. We have the gray Don't Unfriend Me show jacket, which is coming to Olivia and I. We have to order them. Can't wait to get them.
Yes.
The other Dumb Nation jacket, which we own. And this is all embroidered and stitched. 36,000 stitches on the second version. 1 entry per person. Monday will be our drawing. All entries in the end of the year drawing, which is massive. Last year, we gave away a metric ton worth of stuff. And we expect it to be a very good drawing at the end of the year. So $25 in it to win it. Get yourself a new jacket. These are Columbia jackets. We don't do cheap shit. People who go to our store go, dude, I've ordered stuff online. I have never seen the quality. Your shirts, your hats, your coffee, the books you sell, everything you have is quality. And that's because I grew up in retail. I spent almost 30 years in retail leadership, working for some of the greatest retail companies in history. Yes, NBC, Comcast. Yes, Wexler Brands. And yes, Apple. And I learned that quality is important. Price is important, but if it lasts, they don't have to buy it every year, then people don't mind paying a little bit more. This is why we use American-made products, high-quality products. Go on over to thedumbshow.com, at thedumbshow.com, and pick something up for you.
She's not sitting in the middle of us tonight.
She's not good. Next, Mikado. This is interesting. This is the opposition leader in Venezuela. And oh, Maddie Howen, it says, what's the difference between an enzyme and a hormone? You can't hear an enzyme. Hormone. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. It took me a second and I got it. I'm like, oh yeah, that's funny.
Ethan told me one right before we got on.
We're not going to do that. Tell it quick. Is it fast?
Yeah. Did you hear the sun is a liberal?
You got to say it louder.
Did you hear the sun is a liberal?
No.
It melts ice. He told me, I was like,
it's actually pretty funny.
It is. I was like,
you know what? Will you remind
funny.
me to put that up tonight? I guarantee that's going to get a ton of likes.
Yeah.
All right. So here we go. Mikado, who's the opposition leader in Venezuela, gave Donald Trump her Nobel Peace Prize. Did you hear me?
Yes.
She gave Donald Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. Now, she can't transfer the Nobel Peace Prize.
But she gave it to him.
Yeah, the Nobel Committee wouldn't allow it, of course, because it's Donald Trump. And you know he's not going to get nominated next year like he wasn't nominated this year, of course. We just got Chris Peranto. Also, somebody sent an email about something. Did you get all these emails?
I got the email.
Okay. Here is the video. Watch this.
Prize committee saying that you couldn't transfer your Nobel Prize to anyone, especially President Trump. You did today. Why did you do that?
Because he deserves it. And it was a very emotional moment. I decided to present the Nobel Peace Prize medal on behalf of the people of Venezuela. And I told President Trump where I found also inspiration to do that. And it happens that 200 years ago, General Lafayette gave Simon Bolivar, Venezuela's liberator, a medal bearing the face of George Washington. And it was in tribute to Bolivar's fight for freedom in the continent. And Simon Bolivar kept that medal with him until the rest of his days. So 200 years later in history, the people of Bolivar are presenting to the Washington's heir in retribution, in this case a medal, that's the Nobel Peace Prize medal, for what he's doing to liberate Venezuela and for freedom in the Americas.
Maria, Prize committee saying that you couldn't
Did you see the smile on Trump's face? Like, that's the biggest smile I think I've ever seen on him.
Yeah, it's you know, he's earned it. I mean, honestly, if Obama can get 2, for what did Obama do except literally run 7?
Force you to buy health insurance.
Oh, we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about that tonight. 17 different proxy wars, right?
Yeah.
Piece my ass. I mean, all he did was build up Iran, who used the funds that he went $150 billion in cash to fund attacks against U.S. and Jews. It's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big fan. So, folks, in it to win it, $571.99. We're going to keep it going. Pop it.
Honestly, I think that might mean more to him than Donald Trump than the actual real one.
I'm sure, because that's huge. I mean, the fact that Washington had the similar experience, he's a historian. Isaac Castillo donate $25. Papa needs a new jacket. Papa needs a brand new bag. You got it. You're in it to win it. That puts us pretty close to the 600 mark. We're going to have a great second half to hit 2 jackets, but I think we have a chance. And it just shows that we definitely needed 2 entries because this is huge. I mean, it's awesome. This is just batty. I don't know what else to say except Colorado. There's only one thing I have left in Colorado.
It's the Avalanche.
It's the Avs. And I will never abandon the Avs. I won't. I can't do it. I love my Avs. And I'm really starting to love the Broncos again. And Ethan's brought me closer to the Donks. And I really love them. But I'll tell you what, I am just so sick of Colorado. You think you would have learned from COVID? You think you would have learned from China? You think you would have learned from Wuhan and Dr. Fucky? Here's Colorado. Listen to this. This is going to blow you away. I hope you guys haven't seen this. This is nuts.
I haven't.
Senators are sounding the alarm on what critics are calling the Wuhan West right here in America. Senator Joni Ernst of Iowa and Representative Paul Gosar of Arizona just sent a fiery letter to NIH Director Jay Bhattacharya demanding he immediately slash funding for a controversial bat virus lab at Colorado State University. And citing investigations by the White Coat Waste Project, they're highlighting nearly $13 million in taxpayer dollars already poured into this facility. Well, joining us now is Justin Goodman from the White Coat Waste Project. Justin, for our viewers just hearing about this, can you walk us through what White Coat Waste first uncovered about the Colorado State University Bat Lab back in 2023 and why you've called it Wuhan West on U.S. soil?
Absolutely, Dana. Thanks for having us. The exact same people who were behind the gain-of-function disaster in Wuhan that the Trump administration, even agencies under the Biden administration, believe caused COVID, are setting up a bat lab here on U.S. soil with funding from Dr. Fauci. EcoHealth Alliance, who funneled USAID and NIH tax dollars to the Wuhan lab, conceived of this bat lab right after the pandemic. They said, we want to start a new bat lab in the United States, import bats from Asia, and do coronavirus, Ebola, Nipah, and other experiments on those bats, breed them here, and ship them around the country. So that's where we got the name Wuhan West. It's, taking the same mistakes we made in Asia, in China, and bringing them on, to U.S. soil. And it's a recipe for disaster right out of Dr. Fauci's cookbook. Unfortunately, in 2024, Jay Bhattacharya publicly said that he thought this project was a mistake and had no upside. Those are his exact words. Unfortunately, come September 2025, just a few months ago, under Dr. Bhattacharya, the NIH gave this Colorado Bat Lab another $2.1 million to help get it up and running and start breeding bats for these dangerous experiments right here in the United States.
Senators are sounding the alarm on what critics are calling the Wuhan West right here in America.
That's
Senator
the
Joni
ground
Ernst.
zero. Colorado is the ground zero. That's scary.
Hey,
and
Loretta, you have
dumb.
Loretta's number?
I don't know if I have Loretta's
Loretta,
phone number.
you put it in chat, so I'm not going to say, do you need some help right now? Can we help you out? What can we do to help? So why don't you reach out to Olivia and I at the end of this, and please don't be modest or humble or whatever bullshit. Just how can we help you? Do I need to make a phone call to get them out? Do you need heat? Can we give some money to get you a little propane heater or get you some firewood, or do we need to drive out there? What do you need? So please, you just need to tell me, and you're in it obviously to win it. You need a jacket more than anybody. I might just give it to you. Please tell me what we can do to help, and don't do that modesty bullshit, lady. You're like, if you were 75 years younger, I'd teach you a thing or two. No, get your ass on the phone with Olivia and I, and you should have our phone number. If not, reach out to her via text. We'll call you after the show.
Yeah, or email olivia@thedumbshow.com.
We do this all the time. This isn't new for us. We usually don't talk about it, but you put it in chat. So you need to tell me what we can do to help. Didn't Obama outlaw gain-of-function research in U.S.? Yeah, isn't that funny? Well, it's interesting because in 2017, Donald Trump signed an order to actually, it was 17, yeah. He signed an order to continue gain-of-function research, not knowing, I could almost guarantee it. I wish if I had one question I could ask Donald Trump was, when you were presented with continuing gain-of-function research in Wuhan and other places, did you know what you were signing? Would love to hear that, you know? But this shit needs to be stopped. Loretta,
Yes.
no, I'm good. Loretta. Okay, Loretta, you better be good. I don't want you cold. You understand? I don't give a shit about the money. Let's just get you taken care of. And I've got pull, and I'll make a phone call. I'll make one phone call. I'll set those frickin' redneck people hillbillies straight right away. I'll go down to the holler and start kicking some ass. This isn't okay. This isn't cool. This is insane. Listen, I understand gain-of-function research. I understand its purpose, but this type of stuff is Pandora's box, and it's dangerous.
And it's sad for the bats. Come on.
Who gives a
they're
shit about the
animals.
bats? I don't care about the bats, but what I care about is that if you're going to do this, have a purpose of doing this. Don't do this just to experiment. That's the problem with COVID. COVID wasn't reactionary to stop anything. SARS-2 in the 2001 period, they had already had prototypes of multiple vaccines and to impact SARS-2. And this is why we gained a strain so quickly with COVID when it came to the vaccine. Not that it had any efficacy. We know now that the vaccine was dangerous in a lot of ways. I can't talk too much about COVID because we're going to get stopped and they'll shut us down and they'll throttle our live show. And see, we just lost 18, 19. We're at 140. Now we're at 123. Needless to say, you needed to see that video, and I wanted to show it to you. We need to shift gears so we can get our people back. Bastards. Here is Bill Maher on media rules. Thank you, not my first time. Got an electric blanket. Stubborn son of a... Loretta, don't make me put you over my knee. Maher on media rules. This is classic. This is Bill Maher and talking about the new rules on the media. Loretta, I want to make sure you're okay. Just make sure. Just tell us you're okay. It's all we care about. All right, here it is.
I thought as a public service, since it's so hard to find reliable news these days, tonight I would provide a few rules of thumb for trying to follow the news in our modern age. Starting with, if the headlines in your preferred news outlet routinely feature words like shreds, destroys, pummels, bashes, your outlet is a partisan piece of shit. Either that or you're reading a Batman comic. Ditto with obliterates, roasts, annihilates, and owns. You're supposed to be a source for information, not Nikki Glaser at the Tom Brady roast. 2, any news source that quotes the internet or writes Twitter says or a bunch of hacks too lazy to do real journalism. You can pretend you wrote a piece on the zeitgeist, but what you really did was look on your phone and quote the 3 angriest people with the most time on their hands. 3, if your news outlet consistently reduces everything that happens in the world to who the president of America is, get rid of it. It's just thoughtless, reflexive team politics. Trust me, no one lighting a tire fire in Haiti is thinking, I wouldn't have done this under Trump, but given the weakness of the Biden administration, why not? Every problem in the world isn't caused by the president. When that train derailed in East Palestine, it wasn't because Trump deregulated the brakes, and the container ship didn't hit the bridge because of Biden's woke DEI agenda. These aren't news stories. They're storylines pumped into your bubble. 4, always be aware that once the news became a profit...
God, I love Bill Maher. I love him. I don't know why. Because we're nothing alike. I mean, this guy loves cocaines and whores. And I'm just not that. But, and he's not even like that anymore. I think Bill Maher, he's got a girlfriend now. He's slowing down. He's getting older. But man, in his age, he's starting to see it. He's always been conservative. It's just, people always called him a liberal because he didn't like Trump. But that's not Bill Maher. Bill Maher has always been a purveyor of truth. And I just love his take. And this one is so good. And it's so true, and it's so accurate, and I can't even begin to tell you how nice it is to hear someone of his stature actually say this.
division of media companies, they stopped being in the news business and are now in the audience stroking business. The goal is no longer to inform opinions, it's to reinforce them. Walter Cronkite used to say, that's the way it is. Now it's, that's our story and we're sticking to it.
Right.
Narrative first, whole story never. On Fox, a Venezuelan migrant is always stabbing a white lady. And on NPR, where they stop bashing the rich long enough only to beg for money. Jamaica is a paradise and Nebraska is a no-go zone. News Nation reported this year that the U.S. was on track for nearly a 300% increase in measles cases. 300%? Wow, that sounds like it could be millions. It was 35, because they just want to manipulate you into clicking. Look, I have 10 fingers. You want to see me suddenly have 80% less? I thought as a public service, since it's so hard to find reliable...
Listen.
That was classic.
I stood by that guy when it was not popular to stand by that guy. And as a conservative, I got a lot of shit for it. And I never apologized. I didn't care. I don't care now. Bill Maher may be a dogmatic atheist. He's not even an atheist. He just doesn't know. And neither do you. And you may know it in your heart, but he just hasn't had that relationship with God. But he frustrates people, and that's okay. But you know what? At least his opinion is his. It's nobody else's. And I love that. And he's my, comparison is the destroyer of innovation. I've said it 100 times. But if I want to compare myself, it's him, because this guy was literally fired and castigated out of society because of his opinion, and then still made it through. I'm hoping one day people want to know the truth again and want to hear opinions that aren't just one-sided. I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a conservative. These things are all true. Always. But it doesn't mean that I can't call out the President of the United States, and I do. And I will continue to call out President Trump when I think he's wrong. And I will support him when he's not. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that is our job. It's what we do. It's our job as patriots. It's our job. It's our civic duty as citizens of this country to call out not our leaders, to call out the people we've elected to represent us. And when they fail to represent us, it's our job to tell them that they've done that. Yeah, I'm tired of this rah-rah, shish goomba cheerleader bullshit for the other side, or whatever side you think you're on, because the only side you should be on is your own.
Exactly.
Obamacare has turned out to be Obama I don't care.
Putting one in now.
And here is a video of it. Where are we at? 626.99. Thomas Austin donated $30 in it to win it.
Acts 16:31, and they said, "Believe in the Lord Jesus, and you will be saved, you and your household."
Amen. Maher and Fetterman are kind of the real heroes of the Democrats on the left. They just don't fold the propaganda. Maher is never... People just didn't like Maher because of TDS. But Olivia and I've been watching Maher since I was
I remember
10?
when he was on Politically Incorrect.
Yeah, I was a young kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched him on ABC back in the day, and I always loved his shows, but I was always into politics. Here we go. Obamacare is Obama I don't care. This is really good. I mean, we have some good ones. Some very, we don't need to say a lot because these are good. This is good news tonight. It's good stuff. It's stuff you need to know. Watch this.
First, I want to thank our leader and our chairman, August Pfluger, for his, dedication to bringing this issue forward and for keeping healthcare affordability front and center in the RSC's work. This is exactly the issue that the American people and families across this country are expecting us to confront head on. The reality is simple. Healthcare in America is too expensive, too confusing, and moving in the wrong direction. Families are paying more every year in premiums, deductibles, and taxes, and yet getting less for what they pay for. According to the Kaiser Family Foundation, when myself and my wife entered the workforce in the year 2000, the average family costs for premiums were just above $6,000 annually. Today, that's almost $27,000 annually for a family. That's where the core of the affordability crisis has landed. As an economy, the United States now spends nearly $5 trillion annually on healthcare, which is 18%, sucking up 18% of our entire economy, when just years before it was only 13%. Now, we are here because Obamacare was sold as a lie. It inflated demand with subsidies, while at the same time doing nothing to expand the supply of healthcare. Hospital prices have risen 3 times faster than normal inflation, and networks have narrowed, and premiums continue to rise. At the same time, our Democrats want to double down on dumb and throw more dollars after this failed Obamacare system, wanting to put another $500 billion added to our national debt in order to prop up this failing system. We cannot ignore the looming supply crisis as well. Currently, we have a shortage in America of about 17,000 family doctors in the United States. 17,000. That's expected to grow to 86,000 over the next coming years. And subsidies are not going to fix the provider shortage that we have. This is the moment for Republicans to lead. We can't simply oppose Obamacare. We have to offer the American people a real alternative that restores choice, transparency, and affordability. And Mr. Chairman, I think you'll like this line.
I think this is going to be the next shift in Donald Trump over the next
Healthcare.
Yeah, next 9 months.
It really needs to be.
I think we're going to find out about housing. You're going to hear about the GDP, folks. The economy is on fire, like I told you it would, and it's already it's faster than I expected it to be. Just wait. GDP was over 5%. I don't think we've been over 5% since Reagan. It's incredible. Housing prices are going down. We've dropped the average payment by what I don't know, $300-400. Well, that equates to $3,000-4,000 a year. We're going to go over that in a little bit. But if Donald Trump can somehow find a way to slap a label and rename Obamacare to something that's affordable, but also get agreement to find a way to get the mandate that was supposed to subsidize by punishment, but get the healthcare providers to invest in that, something good will happen. He needs to do it like a tariff, because tariffs, remember all the fear about tariffs? Well, tariffs are why we're getting where we are. Renegotiating these trade deals. Remember, we're only $30 billion in our trade deficit last month. $30 billion. We were $130 billion. He cut $100 billion in our trade deficit. Imagine if he gets a surplus. Can we get a surplus of $100 billion a year? Well, every 10 months, that's $1 trillion. That's $1 trillion. Folks, you're talking about taking money out of the deficit. So if Donald Trump can find a way to put tariffs on these insurance companies and the conglomerations that are the national ones, and which could subsidize the lower companies for competition, then you're going to start seeing that states will start coming together. That you'll see Maryland, Virginia, Washington, D.C., not a state, and Delaware kind of group together to have larger purchasing power for individual plans that could create a network that could lower the price. And what I want the U.S. government to do is privatize insurance by creating networks, 5 to 6 across the United States. And you could have Health Net Northwest, Health Net Central, Health Net South, Health Net Northeast, whatever it is, Southwest, and you would have these 5 or 6 states joined together based on population. And yes, blue states and red states. And you could have them join together and have these insurance companies come in that are not national size, but really regional and territorial based, that are at a certain threshold of dollars that could be subsidized by the larger companies that don't want to have that as their responsibility anymore. And these could be deficits to larger companies, but not deficits to smaller companies. The smaller companies can do more with less than the larger companies can, because the micro transactions for large companies are not beneficial. And if you can find a way to create these pockets of healthcare around the country that are not government ran, but government incentivized through private industry, and let the smaller states benefit from the larger states, you could create something that is interdependent upon the little guy and the large guy. And I don't know how they do that, and men much smarter than me might do it. And if tomorrow they come out with literally Northwest Net Health, I swear to God, I'm gonna blow my stack. If somebody comes up with this idea and starts doing territorial insurance based upon population, and literally creates 5 or 6 competing healthcare agencies that can import or export people based upon how well they do and compete against each other, then I'm going to call President Trump and tell him that's it. Find out who's watching my show and deport them to Guantanamo Bay. Okay? If this happens, I'm going to get frustrated. But this is what you need. You need competition. And you need to break it up like they broke up Pac Bell. You need to break it up like they broke up Comcast, where you have multiple companies taking regions and providing the best service, and then they win. And this is why you see AT&T dominate Texas everywhere but Houston, because Houston can provide better prices through Comcast than AT&T can. And you have that competition going on, but you need to do it over regional states, not interstate, not national, not federal. That's my opinion. Because what California needs for healthcare, we don't need. What Virginia needs for healthcare is different than California. They've got upper respiratory issues in California. They have a lot of strokes and heart attacks around California because of the stress and the high cost of living. Here in Virginia, there's other things. There is more interest in exercise and eating better and eating well. You also have mobility and people not being ambulatory because they leave a sediment lifestyle. It's very different. Our healthcare needs are different than California. Mel has some comments on this. Mel, what did you want to talk about?
I just have one question.
12
Why,
inches.
since the inception of Obamacare, the Republicans have had probably 12 plus years to come up with a solution, which they keep railing against Obamacare, but they've never come up with whatever. They've had over 12 years amongst all of them to come up with a solution. Why is it still now a problem? Like,
it's a wonderful
where are they all?
It's the same reason, Mel, it's a wonderful question. It's the same reason why we cannot solve the gun debate, is because you have the NRA, which refuses to allow any movement towards the studying of effects of firearms and overall connections to firearms to crime or to acts of violence. Now, I understand that freaks people out, but I don't think studying something is a bad thing. How you implement things after that study, it depends. Because if you said this in the 70s and 80s about smoking and big tobacco, people today would be like, of course you don't smoke. Of course you don't chew. These are bad things for you. We know this. But back then they were resistant to it because big tobacco would absolutely stalwart anything. And they created their own research and sold it to politicians to give counter talking points. Anybody who doesn't understand this, go watch Thank You for Smoking. Now,
good movie.
It's a great movie, but it also explains why. Now, insurance is the same way. There is so much counter opposition from the left that every one of them take money from big health and big pharma. And they are, what the Republicans propose is that they want multiple choices, single payer. They want group PPO and HMO. They want savings account plans. They want competitive pharmaceutical pricing. They want competitive TRICARE. They want a form of Medicare. They want a form of what the military has. And they want to create competition that the government is involved at a certain level, but private industry gets involved. That breaks up the big monotony, the big corporations of UHC and Net Health and Blue Cross Blue Shield and other forms of health providers, Aetna and others, who have a stranglehold that this is $1 trillion market. The Republicans don't want to get involved in healthcare. They don't believe that the government should be involved in healthcare. but they're going to have to be now because they have to unfuck the Obamacare situation. And if you rip Obamacare apart, and take those subsidies, the healthcare industry is ultimately going to collapse in the United States. Maybe that's what needs to happen. But remember, that's what people said about air traffic control. It's what they said about the airlines and automobile companies. And they didn't think that through. If every airline in the United States collapsed, do you know what would happen to our economy? Do you know what would happen to our country? So to answer your question, Republicans need to come up with it now. Do I believe they can come up with something in 9 months? I think they can get the framework of something in 9 months. I think they get some ideas, but they're going to have to do this. If they want to win in 2026, they have to show the American people that there's something in the works that will be completed by 2028 that they can believe in and vote for. If you don't do that, I think 2026 is lost to the Republicans. Your thoughts, Mel?
My thought is 90% of the people that are still in government now have had 12 years to sit down and do in their think tanks and their little groups and their little whatever over all this time to come up with a solution. It may not be the best solution, but it's had 12 plus years to
you're right.
try to, and they've done jack shit.
Yeah.
So now everybody's scrambling. And I'm like, no, you guys have said this for a long, long time. Yeah, Obamacare bad.
Yep.
Where's your solution?
You're right.
And then each election, we're going to fix it. Well, no. And all of these people are still in the government. So why, over all this time, have these people not sat down in their little whatevers and come up with whatever and work it through, and come up with something and have something at least to put on the table that DJT didn't have to have to go, hey,
have to create an event. You need
exactly.
It's the same reason Hillary Clinton didn't do it for 4 years and wasted $27 million of taxpayer money and came up with absolutely nothing. But this is because government isn't supposed to run healthcare. You have to empower private industry to be competitive, and you have to do it in regional. I'm telling you. The problem is national healthcare is they have to take on too many negatives with not enough positives. And you've got the Midwest, which is they deal with harder working conditions. They work longer hours than the rest of the country. They work riskier jobs. They lose limbs. They throw their back out at 40 years old. And you have these companies that have to take and absorb all of the Midwest and benefit from the West or the East, where if they start seeing an increase in heart attacks or they start seeing something like COVID or whatever that impacts and kills more people than it saves, these insurance companies are hedge funding. They're hedge betting. You've got to break them up into regions and include some very high-end states taking care of 3 or 4 lower states to absorb the cost. They're too big. There's too much money changing hand. And when something happens in, the flux of health, whether it be cardiovascular disease or whether it be influenza or whether it be COVID or what they're dealing with the vaccine and what's happened to people with myocarditis and others, is that the insurance companies take it on the chin, just like 17 hurricanes back to back to back almost destroyed the insurance company, where they had to stop offering insurance in the South because they couldn't afford it because of flood insurance. And these companies we can't do this. Well, what did they have to do? They had to regionalize and have several insurance companies come in and parse and kind of hedge the funds of payouts and risk that these insurance companies took. The same thing is for healthcare. This is the only solution that I can see. And I'm pretty smart, but I don't know how to do it. But I've given you some basic ideas.
No, and I agree. But right now at this point, and I abhor government-controlled healthcare because I live in it, and it is a nightmare. But right at this point, 12 years ago, the government needed to step in and say, okay, the cabal is stopped.
Yep.
This is how you guys have to work.
Yep.
You're a business. You're whatever. You go, and it's the same with any kind of insurance, house insurance, whatever. Any kind of insurance company, because that's all they are, is an insurance company.
Yep. They're gamblers.
Exactly. So right now the government, just to stop the bullshit, and to stop all of this insider bull trading, whatever these, they're buying off politicians, blah, whatever. They needed to stop that a long time ago because they knew Obamacare at the beginning. The guy who invented Obamacare said it wasn't going to work.
Well, right. He was a Republican, by the way.
I know.
So let me ask you a question. What have you? I got to go because we got to move. But I don't talk to you enough, and I love talking to you. What would happen? What would happen if you do this? What if you could roll over your insurance premium every year into a savings account, and you had two choices? You could get a percentage of it back for good health and healthy living, which would show an improvement on your family's obesity, cardiovascular, blood work, oxygen levels, whatever else, right? And you could take a percentage of that and stick it in a, let's say 50% of it into a health savings account that they would give back to you as a reward. Or you could take that money and deduct it from your taxes as a loss. Something.
No, I would roll it into a health savings account.
Well, right. But my point is, you got to incentivize the people who live healthy lifestyles and don't use the health care, and you punish because you have to pay full price. But if you don't use it, we're going to give 50% back. We're still going to keep money, but our margins are going to drop 20 points. But these health insurance companies will be doing better because they will have health savings account that you will burn instead of tapping on the insurance companies. And then the people who are not living healthy are ultimately going to kick the bucket or die. And yes, that's a lot of money, but they paid their premiums, which will balance out in the end. And then the people who use it as a tax write-off and say, I'm going to go gives and stimulates economy and stimulates growth, to let them do with the money that they want to do, like putting in their own health savings account or creating a college fund for their kids, whatever it is. This would tell the companies, listen, your days of making 75 points of margin are over. You're going to make 50. Yeah. You're going to fucking make 50, but you're also going to make more money and your volume because we're going to get healthier, and you're going to reward people to save for a catastrophic event versus let you carry the brunt of it. So it's a rob Peter to pay Paul. Your out-of-pocket's going to be less insurance, but your overall net revenue will probably stay about the same because the cost and the burden will be handled by the actual healthcare purchaser. Why not do something like that?
And also that will stop the fraud of the hospitals charging $60 for an aspirin or a Tylenol.
Right.
It'll stop all that crap. It'll just, so it will be beneficial that you can have the health savings account just like he just set up for the kids,
right?
For their education or whatever it was, whatever. I'm like, it benefits the people. The people will see that going, they know where their dollars are because it's in their account. So how they choose to use it, and if they need to use it, they can use it. If not, it'll build, whatever, until they really need to use it.
That's right.
The ones that say, fuck, I'll live forever and I don't need this, whatever, and take it as a tax write-off, fill your boots, whatever. But make it a choice, whatever.
That's need to
the
do
way
that.
to go.
Yes, you've got to go to these hospitals and you've got to say your record profits are over. You have to go to the pharmaceutical industry and saying, sitting on patents and then charging 3,000% until your investment is paid off. Let the government come in. You show a patent pending medical breakthrough. We will fund it for you. You will own the patent. We will fund it for you, but you have to give this price for it. You want to make a profit, that's fine, but you can't be charging 3,000%. You want to make 300%, fine, but you have to justify that over a certain period of time. That as it's cheaper to make, the price goes down. This isn't going to be like tollways and bridges that we go ahead and pass $30 million to build a new fucking tollway, but in 3 years, once it's paid off, it's supposed to be free, and the tolls continue to be on the roads. Every fucking city in America strips us of our money. Every time you pay a fucking toll, it's theft. It's a lie. It is a lie that they told us it wasn't going to be there anymore. It was going to pay off and be done. Every single tollway and bridge in America that hasn't been built in the last 3 years has been fucking paid off for decades.
Exactly. And when these CEOs of the hospitals finally figure out that they're cash cows for their $100 fucking Tylenol pills and their $12 Band-Aids and their whatever, it's finally drying up, they're going to get competitive too, and they're going to be like, it's going to get real. So,
but these are all pipe dreams, Mel, because nobody's going to do anything. No one's going to be held accountable. It's too big. It's trillions of dollars. I love you. I got to go. Get out of here. We'll talk to you soon. Bye, Mel. Bye.
Happy anniversary, guys.
Thank you, Mel. We love you. All right. Good conversations, good talks. I mean, it's heated, it's passionate, not with each other, but we know what's going to happen. The government doesn't want to solve certain problems. It just wants to continue to make money. This is why when people say that Donald Trump isn't an amazing president, it baffles me, because he constantly is trying to make things better. He just showed you when it came to the economy. I'm going to show you that. We've got too much to do. It's 2038. Folks, we're 626.99. That puts us at what? 370 away.
373 away from another jacket.
We can do it. 370. We've got 22 minutes, $25 in it to win it. You get a free jacket if you win on the spinning the wheel of destiny. We were told, hey, put this in twice a month. We've been doing that because honestly, people seem to love it. So here's how it works. You put in $25. You get a ticket entry into the spin a wheel, the wheel of fortuitousness, and you have a chance to win the new Dumb jacket for 2026, which is amazing. It's Olivia's design. And then the Dumb Nation jacket, you can also pick if you want to, which is a classic favorite. 1 entry per person. Monday drawing, and all entries in the end of the year drawing, which last year it was massive. This year, it's going to be even bigger because we're doing a full year of jacket giveaways. This is an awesome thing. We hope you're excited about it. $25 gets you in it to win it. If you don't want to do it, you're like, you know what? I don't want a jacket. I need something else. That's not what I need. You can go pick up some coffee, some shirts, whatever you want over at thedumbshow.com. We are selling some amazing coffee, and veteran-owned and made. Moving on into...
You see Bubba's comment?
No, tell me.
Happy Slammiversary.
You gotta say it louder, honey.
Happy Slammiversary. I think that's funny.
I don't know what it means.
Well, it's our anniversary when we hooked up.
Oh, that would be, slam? Oh, I thought that was thrash.
I don't know.
Thrashiversary. It's all good. A lot of things happen. This happened in New York. A man used self-defense, used a weapon in New York to defend himself and his wife's life. They got a warrant. They went into his house. They saw weapons that were not licensed. And now they're putting him in jail for 4 years. Watch this shit. This is ridiculous. You guys are going to hate this.
This is Savannah Hernandez outside of the Queens Criminal Courthouse in New York City, where I just attended the sentencing for Charles Foner, the 67-year-old retiree who was just sentenced to 4 years in prison after defending himself from a 15-time career criminal here in New York City. Now, if you're not familiar with the story of Charles, basically back in 2023, a 15-time career criminal with a history of mental illness ended up threatening him and lunging at him. Charles, who had a handgun in his pocket, which he had, by the way, because of his fears of rising crime throughout the city, ended up pulling out his weapon, telling this man to stop. He did not heed the warning. He continued to lunge at Charles. Charles opened fire and ended up killing him. Now, interesting thing about this case is that the DA of Queens, Melinda Katz, did not bring forth homicide or manslaughter charges because even her office agreed that this was a clear-cut case of self-defense. However, what they did decide to charge Charles for was criminal possession of a weapon, and then after this incident happened, the police went and searched his home, and they found what they stated is an arsenal of unlicensed weapons. Now, I want to say he had about 30 other guns in his home, and Charles's attorney stated that Charles has been shooting guns since he was a kid. Charles has no criminal history, and he has been around guns his entire life. However, because he was in New York and these were unlicensed, the DA decided to bring forward these charges. Now, something else I want to bring up is there was a case that was very similar to what happened to Charles with a 69-year-old homeless man on a subway in New York who ended up killing somebody in self-defense. Now, this homeless man ended up getting attacked by 5 illegal immigrants, and he used a knife to fight off his attackers, and he ended up stabbing and killing one. Again, Melinda Katz's office decided that this was a clear-cut case of self-defense and decided not to press any charges at all, and that case has since been dropped. Very similar to Charles's case, the main difference here, though, is, of course, the weapon used. Instead of using a gun to defend himself from criminals, this homeless man used a knife, and the DA did not bring forward those charges. So I spoke to Charles's attorney, who was present today, who stated that this is one of the saddest cases that he's ever worked on. To understand how this has impacted Charles, here's what he had to say.
I don't think justice was served on the macro level. We've said consistently our position is that Charlie is not without fault. He possessed firearms that he wasn't lawfully allowed to possess. The question is one of proportionality. Prosecutors have essentially absolute discretion in these situations. They exercised some of that discretion to give Charlie a sentence that was less than what he would have faced at trial. They exercised some of that discretion in ultimately not charging you with homicide. But the question is whether the ultimate sentence was proportional, whether it was necessary to send someone of Charlie's age, given his lack of history of any violence, the impeccable life he's led, to an upstate prison sentence where we continue in this city and other cities throughout the United States watch recidivist violent offenders given second, third, fourth, fifth chances from the criminal justice system. And in Charlie's case, he was not a person of means. He's lived a very middle class, working class life.
I did what you did.
Yeah,
you get to talk.
Their way around not charging him with homicide is what, illegal possession of a firearm? How did they figure that? Was that gun that he used not licensed?
Not in New York. What happened is that the gun he wasn't supposed to own, and then they went to his house because it's an investigation. They have to investigate it as self-defense, but they still need to collect evidence, make sure this person wasn't a jaded lover or he owed him money or whatever. So in the process of investigating it as a crime, which they have to do, it's still a murder. Self-defense is identified afterwards, it's not done by the detectives, it's not done by the investigators, it's done by a jury if charges are brought or dismissed by the prosecutor. So in the investigation process, they went to his house and they found illegal firearms, and then they charged him with another crime. Completely separate.
It's completely...
He owned an illegal firearm in the killing, but then found a slew of illegal firearms that they deem illegal. First of all, the Constitution of the United States has right to bear arms. This one pisses me off.
This one needs to go to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And this is one that Donald Trump needs to pardon. The fact that in New York City...
he can't, honey. It's a state crime, not a federal crime.
In New York City, the fact that criminals are on the street for murder and aggravated assault and sexual assault and armed robbery and these horrific crimes, and they're getting let go back into society. But a 67-year-old man who's never done anything in his life criminally gets sentenced to 4 years on some stupid trumped up charge.
Oh, if he was black, you'd already be out.
Why? Because it had to do with a firearm.
He was white. That's also true.
Yeah, he was white, and he had a firearm, and it's New York, and anything to get rid of firearms in New York.
Yeah, you would think it would be an illegal search and seizure too, but because it was investigated as a crime, as even all self-defense. See, there has to be an investigation. It's a homicide. And whether it's negligent or whether it's, manslaughter, whether it's self-defense, whether it's first degree or second degree, that doesn't happen at the investigation. That happens in the process of collecting the evidence, and then prosecutors decide whether they want to go ahead and move forward with charges, and then ultimately a trial will ensue after so many preliminary, then you have discovery, and then finally you decide if you're going to go ahead and take this to court or not. And you can plea it down and all those other things. But they gave him self-defense, but then he has an additional charge in the investigation. So for instance, like let's do this. Like, let's go ahead and say that you took somebody's dog and killed their dog and stuffed them in your trash can in your backyard. And detectives are called. They come over there and they search the premises, and they have probable cause. They see the dog's been murdered, right? Mm-hmm. Well, now they have to go ahead and check the premises for any other evidence to prove this crime that's been done, right? Mm-hmm. So they go ahead and do that. And in the process, they find child porn, or they find a child chained into the basement. Do they just turn around and walk away from that child in the
No.
basement, or do they go ahead and take custody of the child and then charge him for kidnapping, sexual molestation of a minor, delinquency of a minor, and every other thing that he did to that person, rape and whatever else? Well, of course. Well, the same thing with guns. Even though we don't agree, and we're like, no, they are illegal in New York. You are not supposed to have them. Some of those were AK-47, SKS. I saw multiple different weapons. There was a Ruger. And they're unlicensed and unserialized weapons, and it is illegal in the state of New York. Not that I agree with that. I mean, I think everyone should be able to own whatever the fuck they want if they've done nothing to have weapons taken away or were a felon. Or federal law, which is agreed upon by the states, automatic weapons, for instance, unless you have a class license. In my opinion, even though I want it to be an improper search and seizure, it's not. It was in the investigation of another crime, and another crime was found. That is, unfortunately, the way it works, and that's the best example I can give you. In the search and seizure of those weapons, in the investigation of the shooting, they found that he had 15 teraflops of child porn on his computer. Do you just ignore it? No. You have that crime. You notify the DA. You get a full warrant to go ahead and confiscate the property and bring new charges. It's just the way it is. And it sucks and it's stupid, but Trump can't pardon him because this is a state issue, not a federal. Yeah, I know it sucks. It just sucks. It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
But let's remember that the prosecutor could have swept this under the rug.
Carrie Ripley, happy Friday, $25. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie. But yeah, the prosecutor could have taken care of this. I don't know why I have so many of these open. I just recognize, I'm like, God, there's multiple. Looks like I got confetti going on. Prosecutor could have completely
just.
But it's
New York. So.
ATX says he got popped on a technicality. No, a technicality means that they did something wrong in the process of habeas corpus and Mirandizing him, and he got off on a technicality. Getting popped on a technicality, it doesn't quite play the same. The excuse here's another one. Say you pull over somebody's car and they've got 15 kilos in the trunk, and when you search him, he's got a gun. Well, in certain states, every bullet is an additional some odd years, and the gun enhances the crime because of the drugs enhance the crime. Do you ignore the gun because you only had him on the cocaine? No, you got him. It's not a technicality. It's in the due process, in the due course of investigating a crime, other crimes were discovered. That unfortunately is the way it is. He was used to make an example of. Now that's what I agree with. Like they could have, I think, Patriot, what you're saying, it popped on a technicality, is that the prosecutor had a bug up his ass. That's what the prosecutor could have looked away at this and could have said, listen, we're going to confiscate the guns. That's the way it's going to be. They're illegal. We're going to give you time served. We're going to put you on probation. You got 2 years, and don't fucking do it again. And if you do it again, you're going in for 10. That's what should have happened. Yeah. Thomas, it's just bad law. Yeah. It's just bad law. It's bad decision making. This isn't the person you should go after. You go after the son of a bitch that's got 2 bricks of cocaine or given fentanyl to kids.
Or has been released 15 times and has already killed somebody.
Right. That's my point. Yeah, I agree with you guys. Listen, I'm a Second Amendment advocate. The only people who shouldn't have them are people who have a felonious record. I maybe the mentally ill too, but it's not my decision to do that. I look at it this way. Everyone should have the right to own and defend themselves. And in this case, let me ask a question. If he picked up a knife, would they have got him? No, and they didn't. And the prosecutor didn't charge him for homicide. It was self-defense, and he was acquitted of those charges. So the prosecutor did the right thing when it came to the self-defense, but it should have extended to common courtesy that the entire premise that they found these additional guns was in the process of where he did nothing wrong. That's where I would challenge the legality of this. And ultimately, that's where the prosecutor should have said, listen, we're taking the guns. They're illegal. You're going to go on probation. And if you have any other guns, whatever, over this period of time, you're going to go in for 10 years. Don't do it again. That would have been acceptable, I think, a course of action. Putting this guy in the clink for 4 years for that, I think it's bullshit.
Especially at his age.
Yeah. It's just wrong.
It is.
It's just wrong. Glad we had this talk. Good stuff, folks. Good conversation. Moving right along, Shapiro and Newscomb had a podcast. And this is interesting. But here are laws in New York about the blade length of knives. Yeah, I know. No, I know. Like, I got to do the palm test in California when I was there. Shapiro and Newscomb, watch this.
Fundamental question that lies at the root of all of this is the question that you're not wanting to answer, which is whether boys can become girls.
Yeah, I think I'm for the grace of God. Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate the sympathy. I also feel terrible for listen, anybody who's suffering with any sort of
I think it's
mental or
been
physical
the
condition.
case
That's
for
terrible, but
generations, for time immemorial. God bless. I don't know how.
Why is this a hard one? I just don't understand.
Because
why
I don't know why it's such a. Why is it such a? I'm curious. I understand the political potency of it.
It's not just politically potent,
but it's just how. It's so few. We're talking about so few people.
It's not about
that are struggling with gender identity issues. A lot of remarkable people, a lot of wildly successful people, and they've gone on their life, have incredible lives. I don't know. There's so much hate and bigotry, so much condemnation, so much judgment.
This is the part where I start to object.
Yeah.
Okay, the idea that
you may not be spewing it.
No.
Like some others. Trust me.
But
this is the business they're in.
There are lots of terrible people who say lots of terrible things, but
yes.
It is not an act of bigotry to say that a boy cannot become a girl, nor should my children be taught in K through 12 public schools that a boy can become a girl.
Yeah.
That is not an act of bigotry. That's an act of rationality and biological simplicity.
I respect your point of view. And,
but does the state?
Good people disagree on this.
I know, but
and a lot of states, not just California, well-established rules, by the way, that predate me. Again, this is not where I started. We're campaigning and advocating on these issues, as some suggest. Look, I'm with the Governor Spencer Cox, who said about many of these issues, never so much attention been placed on so few people.
And the problem is, I do think that on an electoral level, to go to the politics, it is a barrier to entry for a lot of people. When
I
you
agree
say,
with that.
When
I
you
agree
say
with
boy
that.
can become a girl,
Yeah.
and then just
I
on
agree
a realistic.
And by the way, I respect if that's your barrier to then listening to people on a myriad of other issues. So be it. It is what it is.
I just find it strange that even if you wish to have a public policy that pursues something different, we cannot just admit that boys and girls are two different things and that a boy cannot become a girl. Why is this so difficult?
Yeah. I understand your point of view.
And
I also respect Caitlyn Jenner. I do.
It's not about respect for individuals.
Well, no.
Fundamental question that lies at the root of all of this is the question that
I love the stab at the end of Caitlyn Jenner, which like somehow you're going to take the one conservative voice, which there's other conservatives who are transgender, but Caitlyn Jenner doesn't sit here and propagate and espouse that men can be women and women can be men. Caitlyn Jenner is very aware of who they are and what they were. Just because their preference is something doesn't mean that they deny science and deny logic and deductive reasoning. That is my opinion on that. What are your thoughts about Mr. Newsom there, baby?
I'm a little nervous with him running for president, although I hear he's like walking back some of his stances he's had over the last few years, which really shows me that he's probably ramping up for a presidential run.
He most certainly is running for president. At least going to try for primary, and let's see if the Democrats will allow a duly elected primary candidate.
Yeah,
they haven't in the last three. They didn't do it in 16. They didn't do it in 20. They didn't do it in 2024. The Democrats voters have not voted for and put their own candidate in three elections.
Yeah, but I don't trust anything he says. As far as I could throw him, I think he's every word that comes out of his mouth is
he's a douche plow.
Is a lie.
Carrie Ripley put us $250, well, a little about $350 away from 1,000. Folks, let's make a deal. If we can get this up to 8, JD still will donate $25 jacket for Connor. Great. That's good. So that puts us, 125 away from 8?
Yeah.
Folks, if we can get it to 800, we'll do 2 jackets. Do you agree?
Yeah.
No, 850. They're expensive.
They are expensive.
Let's do 8. If we can get it to 850, we'll do 2 jackets. 850, okay? Do our best. We want to try to get more for people. So $25 gets you in. We're how much weight? 225
from 850. Yeah.
No, 175.
175.
175. So we need 7 more entries. 7 more entries. That's all it takes. 7 entries, and we can get to 2 jackets. All right. Remember, the jackets, pretty simple, are something that we've been doing now for the last 6 months or so. $25 donation, enter to win, and you can get yourself the new collegiate level Dumb Nation jacket. Comes in black, navy, and light gray. You can get all those colors, whatever you want. Also, the black Dumb Nation jacket, which is all stitch. These aren't printed. These are threaded stitch counts. These are expensive jackets. They're Columbia. They're amazing. Enters into the Monday drawing. All entries will be put into the end of your drawing. $25 gets you in it to win it. And then if you do it every single month, it gives you 12 entries in the final year drawing. Last year, drawing for Christmas, I think we had 75 people. No,
Oh, a ton.
no, yeah, it was maybe 95 people were involved in the drawing. It was big. This one will be much bigger. So if you're interested, $25 gets you in it to win it. We get to $850 tonight. We'll do 2 jackets. Okay, we usually do 1,000, but we just did it 2 weeks ago. We're totally open for that. So we need 7 more donations. $25. We'll do 2 jackets. Moving on. We're moving right along. We're having a great night. We are not in overtime yet. We just hit 703. We need $150. That equals 6 more donation. Paul Rivera, 2625. Tonight is jacket night, right? Working a rodeo tonight. Had to pop in real quick. Good to see you. In it to win it. You are set. Let's move into... you guys remember this guy. I'm not even going to give you his name. He is a little putz who is a liberal, young, millennial, know-it-all kid. Millennial dad decided to take him on. I like how my generation is going after some of these little putzes on the liberal side, and good, because they really are kind of full of shit. Here is this video. This is interesting. The guy is defending a pedophile. They don't even know what they defend anymore.
Now, and I had to pull over to make this video because fucking everyone needs to hear this. A man died in an ICE detention center.
Yeah, Dean, pedophiles tend to not do too well in prison. Oh, did Dean leave that out of his reporting? Did he not inform you that the dude who died was a pedophile? A convicted pedophile. Yeah, Dean, people in prison don't like that. Even though they're hardened criminals in there. Even though there are murderers and thieves and all that shit in there, they don't like pedophiles. Now, they're still investigating the circumstances behind this person's death, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you what happened. The fellow inmates found out what he did, and they dealt with it. And I think every single inmate involved in that man's death should immediately get citizenship. They should immediately, I don't care what their fucking crime is, they should immediately be released.
Couldn't agree
because pedophiles aren't real people. And what happened to that dude is what should happen to everyone who does that. But it is kind of weird to watch Dean have to pull over on the side of the road to defend a pedo.
I'm driving right now, and
Oh, I love the older millennial. We got to get him on the show. He's good. I've been following him for a while. He's got good takes. And Dean Withers is a putz. I've had Dean Withers did his videos. I would debate Dean Withers in a heartbeat, because the first thing I would tell Dean is, Dean, turn off the computer. Because 99% of what Dean Withers says is artificial intelligence. He runs his podcast through AI, and it will take the questions of the callers and give him the answers and the data. It's disingenuous. Dean's a smart kid. He really is. He's not stupid. I've seen him debate. I saw him debate on Charlie Kirk. He's not stupid. He's lazy and he's ineffectual. And if he would just have a conversation with the intent to learn, this comes with age. He would be somewhat decent at what he does. But instead, he takes clickbait titles like Harry Sasson. He turns them for clicks. He says things that are completely controversial, knowing that people are going to interact with him. I'm encouraging people in 2026 that if you see something stupid from Harry Sasson or the Krassenstein brothers or Cenk Uyghur, don't respond. Just simply ignore these people, because they make money off of you interacting with them. The best way that you possibly can is just fucking ignore these people. And spend the time around the people who are going to help you question your bubble. We talked about this last night. Surround yourself with like-minded people, yes, but let them challenge your thought process. Challenge their thought process. Trust is absolutely an imperative to change your mind, and also liking people. And sometimes it's really hard to like the left. So learn how to take feedback and then allow people to challenge you. My mind can be changed, but you better bring your receipts, you better bring the facts, and you better bring a healthy dose of skepticism about your own opinion, not just mine. Otherwise, what's the point of us talking? Go ahead.
This is from Anonymous for Loretta.
For Loretta. Loretta needs a jacket. We're going to get her taken care of. $25. Thank you so much, Anonymous. I know who you are. I know who you are, Anonymous.
Got my eye on you.
Got my eye on you. I'm watching you on candid camera. Gonna keep going. We're doing well. We're firing through this. The economy, stupid. Remember when we were supposed to be in a recession? You remember when it was supposed to be Black Friday or Black Sunday?
Yeah.
We were supposed to have this economic crash and tariffs were going to destroy us, and these trade deals were horrible. Dude, Democrats are starting to eat crow. Watch this.
The Atlanta Fed just announced GDP growth is a blistering 5.5%, meaning we are currently growing faster than China. Will Chinese have to teach their kids English? New numbers from the Trump-hating Fed admit we are in a Reagan-level boom, even as legacy media keeps pimping the Trump depression. Such as growth, unemployment's down to 4.4%, wages are up nearly 4% on the year. Even inflation is down below 2% as the economy grows even faster than Congress can spend it. Challenger Gray says layoffs are at the lowest since 2022, so much for the AI job demolition. Services, which make up 80% of American jobs, are actually accelerating. Then the big one, productivity growth. This is the most important number for economists because it's literally how you get rich. It's currently running higher than 90% of the time since Reagan took office. So productivity measures how much you produce for how much you put in, how much capital, how many workers it takes to make how much stuff. It's the gold standard for prosperity since the more famous GDP includes a lot of weird stuff. For example, GDP counts welfare for illegals or Somali daycares. As wealth generating, it counts riots as wealth since you got to rebuild. It counts wars, which is why people think blowing stuff up makes you rich. As Elon famously pointed out, if you fire every auto worker in America and replace them with DMV workers at twice the pay, you raise GDP. Productivity, in contrast, is actual wealth. It's the tightest link to wages since a productive economy has to pay people more or they quit. So productivity captures technology, skills, know-how. It also measures how much regulation is hurting growth, which is probably why governments like GDP better, aside from counting welfare and DMV salaries. Most important, it's productivity that predicts future living standards. Will our kids be richer than we are? There's a big reason why the Biden economy looks so good on paper but was so bad in reality. So over his 4 years, Biden's GDP growth was a healthy 3%, but productivity growth was crawling at just half that as GDP ballooned with trillions of deficit spending that in some states meant nearly all job growth over those 4 years was government funded. Trump has now almost tripled Biden's productivity. And concretely, at Trump's current productivity rate, it takes just 14 years to double wages, as in your kids would make 4 times what you make if it keeps up. So as next brought to you by I Trust Capital, last year I predicted strong growth for 2026.
So, no, you're not getting your commercial on my show. Listen, GDP, although go.
Yes, I'm going to
go
put that
now.
on and go.
Go now before you pee your pants. I can tell. Joseph Hillstrom donating $25 jacket for Connor's birthday gift. Outstanding. Joseph in it to win it. I know, but he's in it for Connor. I know, but Joseph's in it to win it for Connor is what I was going to say, but Olivia wouldn't let me. I've said it 100 times. If you have these people out there in snowstorms, get water cannons. Don't hit them with it. Just put it right above their heads. Those people will be gone within 45 minutes. I don't care how much water resistant gear they have. Water and sub-degree temperatures do not mix. And it's not illegal. Just make it rain. That's all you got to do. Pretty simple. We're going to keep going because, listen, folks, we're there. $753. We're literally 4 donations away from giving away 2 jackets. 4 donations away from giving away 2 jackets. We're going to do it at the $850 mark. Yes, they're $125 a jacket. We don't care. We think it's a good thing. Come on, buddy. What are you doing? You okay, puppy? You okay? All right. Here we go. By the way, 5+ GDP is insane. Insane. This should be on every single news report. It should be all over America. This should be celebrated with arms in the air, waving around like we just don't care. Do you guys understand what that means? Do you understand the volume of money we're getting? Do you understand what it means with these federal interest rates dropping down? It's important. Hold on.
Rachel, the incident happened last October, and we're...
This is, once again, Charlie Kirk night tonight. This was a local school. Something to talk about. This happened a little bit before Charlie Kirk's death, but just shows you where these schools are getting this hatred for Charlie Kirk. Here it is.
Rachel, the incident happened last October, and we're only just now hearing about it now, partly because the school told the kids that they couldn't tell their parents. A parent told us the class was asked to write out who they consider a hero. One child wrote Charlie Kirk was their hero, and the guidance counselor apparently got frustrated. Then another child wrote Donald Trump, and they got more annoyed. After that, a student wrote Jesus, and the counselor said that none of those names were allowed. Later on, the school gathered the sixth graders together and apologized and asked the students not to go to their parents, but talk to the teachers first. I spoke to Alyssa Moore. Her sixth grade son wasn't present for the assignment, but was there for the apology.
They should have set the parameters before if they didn't want certain people up there. We wanted them to be re-educated on how to interact with students that you don't agree with their viewpoint.
We will continue following this story, and we'll be sure to update you as we learn more information in the coming days. In Eureka, I'm Thomas Lynch, 12 News.
It's no wonder that they feel the way they feel about Charlie Kirk.
If you're going to have an assignment of somebody that you think is your hero, and you're going to have parameters on it, make sure you just don't do the assignment. I mean, that's like telling a child, please tell us what your favorite food is. And they say, well, I like chocolate. No, I'm sorry. Chocolate's not food. That's a dessert.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I like Skittles. No, that doesn't work either. Okay, I like spaghetti. Nope. That doesn't work.
I like Twinkies.
Either.
Those aren't gluten-free.
That doesn't work. Well, then just don't do the freaking assignment, or give them a list ahead of time. And out of these people, who do you admire? And make them pick from the list. But don't ask them a question and then tell them they're wrong. I mean, that's awful. And also, do not tell your parents. That is the first warning sign of something's wrong. And luckily, we've been talking to our kids since they were little, that if a teacher says, do not tell your parents, the first thing you do is you come in and tell your parents. And I guarantee Hayden would have written that anyway. You okay?
No.
I'm sorry.
My arm hurts. I started lifting heavy again, and I'm in some pain. And the brachial is just like, oh, God, it sucks. And yes, I'm double jointed for the people who are like, how the fuck did he just spin his arm 360 degrees?
Bruce!
Did you go pee-pee?
I did.
Did you go pee-pee?
I did.
Good. It's always in the eyes, folks. It's always in the eyes.
Hey, MAGA. Is he dead yet? That's the only thing, the only conversation that I want to have with you.
The fuck are her
Whether
eyebrows?
or not he's dead yet. That is the only thing that I would want to hear out of your motherfucking mouth. Is he dead yet? So stay off my fucking page unless you're coming to tell me that Donald is dead. As a doornail. A dirt nap. Gone. Okay?
Okay.
Otherwise,
Feds need to show up at her door.
Go fly kites. Stay off my page.
I'm going to go. Who is that? I'm going to go to her page.
Don't do meth.
Piss her off.
Don't do meth, man. My God.
What is this whole, what does the shirt say? I don't even know what the shirt's freaking says.
It's backwards because she's got her phone flipped around. So, is he dead yet is what it says. And there's a cat. I don't, I just, these people.
It doesn't make any sense.
Nice eyebrows.
And I think that, or lack thereof, yeah, I think some Secret Service needs to show up at her door.
I agree.
For sure. Absolutely.
If you can, her trailer. Come on.
That's a good point.
Come
Trailer.
on, trailer.
Or trash can. Tent.
Yeah, tent city.
Yeah, tent city.
Folks,
we should put out who she is, and we should really.
No, we're not going to dox anybody. No, we're not going to dox people. Whatever.
Not dox her page.
Look at her life. Look at her. Her life's bad enough.
Not dox her, but just go to her page and make comments because that's what she doesn't want us to do.
That's what she wants you to do, so she makes money. This is all a scam. They're just douche plows. Nice eyebrows. Dumbshow.com/coffee, folks. Freshly roasted, veteran owned, and made by the Donut Friendly Show. We've sold a ton of bags. We haven't sold a bag tonight. We've actually had a good streak. We've sold a bag the last 4 nights in a row. But folks, This is great coffee, and it's also a lower price, $15.99 for the bag. We took $1 off because we got better prices from our vendor, and you get 3 bags. It's $15 in shipping. You get as many bags as you want. You want to buy 20 bags? Do it. It's there for you, $15.99. This stuff lasts forever. It is great stuff. You're going to find it lasts longer than the grocery store stuff because it's freshly roasted and the oils are preserved, and it's good. And if you have a press, holy shit, you need 1 cup, and you will be having a great day. What color are her teeth? I didn't know she had teeth. Nazis are everywhere, folks. They're everywhere. Here's a video Olivia told us about. Nazis are everywhere. Listen to this.
ICE to do outrageous things. They are...
hey, we need 4 more donations to break 850, and we'll do 2 jackets. 4 more donations. No, I've already taken $150 off. I'm not going to do it if we're at 810. We got to hit 850. 850, we do 2 jackets. Here we go.
Recruiting them using Nazi, white supremacist propaganda, hinting to that. And then people see that. People who don't recognize it as Nazi or white supremacists, maybe they just join anyway. But the ones who do recognize it see it as a hint, the same kind of hint as you know, stand back and stand by. And then you put those people in the field.
Jeff, do they sell 5-pound bags? No. But if you want to buy 5 pounds, we can figure it out. But no, we don't sell 5 pounds. Maybe if this continues to kick and do well, you know, we got to sell, 30, 50 bags a month. Once we do that, I think we're going to be in a really good spot to start considering K-cups and other size bags. But no, sir, we don't sell 5-pound bags as of yet. I'm pretty confident that if you wanted 5 pounds of coffee, we can figure out how to take care of you, though. The nice thing about having custom vendors is that they work with us.
This is not people coming to Washington to protest. These are people being placed in my neighborhood doing horrible things to my neighbors. And when people respond to that, they say, now the problem we created, we will solve with more force. This is a horrible political play.
First of all, how dare you sit here and accuse ICE agents of being Nazi, Gestapo, and white supremacists when they are enforcing law? You just insinuated that they're apparently recruiting others. You said they're recruiting others, and then it's a dog whistle for others to then apply to that.
Absolutely.
Second of all,
let me tell you what he's referring to.
You didn't see that?
He's referring to posts that have been put out on social media by DHS.
I've seen all the posts.
And on the Department of Labor and on other accounts that have been traced back to white supremacist chat rooms, iconography.
That's like equivalent if Hitler drank water. So if you drink water, you're Hitler.
Did you not see the one?
Yeah, it is.
The one with George Washington?
There's plenty of stuff.
That's awesome. If Hitler drank water and you drank water, you're Hitler. That's exactly what she just said.
The one with George Washington?
Which specific one?
The one where they were using Nazi, it's hinting at Nazi phrasing over a picture of George Washington. Did you see it?
Did
you see it? You didn't see it.
Well, what was the Nazi phrasing?
You said you see it, but you didn't see it.
What is the phrase? What is the phrase?
And you didn't see it.
And the reason... Wait, can I continue my answer?
You can't say the phrase. I don't want to... Guys, hold on. I don't know what you're talking about.
So let me get this straight. You don't know the phrase, but because other people don't know the phrase, they're racist. Got it. That makes sense.
Second, everybody stop talking.
One eternity later.
Right. I want to make sure we get this phrase in, because the phrase is one homeland, one people, one heritage. Remember who we are as Americans over a picture of George Washington. And that is a hint at what a lot of people are suggesting is a hint at a Nazi German party thing that said one people, one realm, one leader. Do you remember what the largest Nazi rally ever held in America, where it was held?
Have you ever seen a dollar bill that says one nation under...
Yeah, I do. It's Madison Square Garden. I'm completely aware. You know what was bigger? The 700,000 Ku Klux Klan members who showed up at the DNC for the fucking convention in Chicago, Illinois. You cuck. So nice try. God, put me on these shows. Put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. I'll fucking face him. You propagandist son of a motherless hooker. I hate these people. You know, at Nazi convention. Yeah, Madison Square Garden. Yes, I can even tell you what year it was. I can tell you how many people were there. And I can tell you that a lot of those people also were what was considered to be conservative and also liberals. Yes, the Nazi Party infiltrated the United States of America, and the monies that they brought over here took people who were supportive of Germany and replanted from Germany. Go fucking figure. But you know what? Every single clucker that was in Chicago, Illinois, of the 700,000 were all from the Deep South, which was all Democrats, because you guys founded the Klan.
Have you ever read John Jay, who said we were one people with one language?
In Madison Square Garden in 1934.
Right.
And you know what picture was on that stage? George Washington. And you know what the person said when they got on the stage to introduce that Nazi rally? Was that if George Washington was alive today, he and Adolf Hitler would be friends.
Right.
And a normal president.
Let me just make one more note.
They're asking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are some really solid facts that some Nazis said. So let me get this straight. I just want to make sure that I understand what he's saying, his point of view. That when Nazis say something, you take it as fact.
Also,
whoa. Let that soak in. So this guy is confirming and affirming that what Nazi says needs to be taken as fact. So because the Nazis said that George Washington would be a Nazi today and get along with Adolf Hitler, therefore it's true. Or could it possibly be that Nazis are fucking idiots? Oh. And if they're idiots just because words in certain contexts, like Make America Great Again, was said similar to by making Germany great again, and it was Donald Trump who said it too, that means that anyone who says Make America Great Again is a Nazi. So therefore, Bill Clinton's a Nazi because Bill Clinton said it too. Oh, well, that's different. Why? Because he's Bill Clinton and it doesn't fit my narrative. Ronald Reagan said it. Does Ronald Reagan mean he's the Nazi? FDR said it. Does that mean he's a Nazi? Isn't it interesting that just because you have words that are put in a certain order in the vocabulary that's similar, that therefore that makes you a Nazi? So one simple line of delineation between you and Nazis makes you a Nazi. So Liv, I'm a German, and you've had a German inside of you, so you're a Nazi.
Apparently.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what was the quote he was saying? The one nation, one realm, one people, or something like that?
One people, one nation.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. I didn't realize that the Nazis patented words.
Right.
So if we say one of those words that the Nazis spoke, that means we're Nazis.
Would you do me a favor? Would you look up e pluribus unum for me? Just type that into
e pluribus
unum. Yeah. E as in E space pluribus. Plurubus. Space.
Rubus?
Yes. Space unum. E pluribus unum. And tell me, what does that mean?
What's unum?
UNUM. 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 E pluribus unum. What does it mean?
Out of many, one.
Where do you see that?
Latin.
Yeah, but where do you see it on, baby?
The United States featured of the Great Seal of the currency, symbolizing.
Yeah, okay. So it's on all currency. Go look at the $1 bill, E pluribus unum. E pluribus unum, those are Nazi Deutschmarks. Next time you pick up any money, any currency in the United States, it's Nazi Deutschmarks. I just want to let you know. So American money is Nazis. That's how it works.
Anyone with a mustache.
All right.
It's a Nazi.
There it is. I'm a Nazi. Anyone with tattoos. Some of the SS had tattoos. Every dollar, folks.
Anyone who wears a leather jacket is a Nazi.
Anyone who likes sauerkraut on their hot dog. Nazi. Yes. All these things are right. Anybody who likes Sound of Music, you're a Nazi. Schindler's List, Nazi. All the truth. That's the way it works. So my point is just because the Nazis said things, just because Harry Potter has one lightning bolt doesn't mean he's half of the SS, okay? Folks, just because there are similarities in what things say over centuries, it doesn't necessarily mean that those people are part of it. Making something great is not a Nazi ideal. It's pretty much any group's ideal, no matter how evil or not evil they are. Moving on, and we're almost done. Folks, oh my gosh, 7:53:24. We are behind. We're almost there. We are looking at $100 to hit 2 jackets. Frederick says, never knew that, Matt. Well, there we go. E pluribus unum. It's the Latin. If you go look at a dollar bill, there's a lot of cool things there. There's a lot of symbolism there. Those Freemasons, those are shifty bastards, also Nazis. Inglorious bastards, that's right.
Nazi.
Nazi. He's a Nazi. Holy shit, Professor Dumbledore in with $50. Professor Dumbledore, that's German, Dumbledore. He's a Nazi. It actually comes from Duddeldorf, and turned into Dumbledore when he became...
I don't think he's in much need for a jacket, considering he's dead, but that's okay.
Maybe he... Could you speak up into the mic?
Yes.
Every freaking night.
My mouth is on the mic, too.
It wasn't a second ago. And if you go listen to the volume fluctuation, 80324, $50 away from 2 jackets, folks. We're getting close. E pluribus unum. I want a dumb show leather jacket for the grand prize. Maybe we may do that. Candy Tanner says, I'm telling you right now, when myself and people my age from the South hear young blacks like these idiots, I want to slap their faces and scream, wake the hell up. Learn your history before you open your mouth again. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Isn't it amazing that people think that there was a giant party switch, that overnight people's ideologies and fundamentals completely switched, that they gave up on all their values? Or could it possibly be that the South was behind because of the Industrial Revolution of the North and the fact that the North had a lot of the money and a lot of the wealth stayed in the North, and the South was dependent on slavery, that they were behind in education, they were behind in productivity, they were behind in innovation, and therefore it took decades of them to get out. But we're always behind the northern cities, even though the North owned slaves, even though the South owned slaves. And then finally, after the 1970s, we started to see a flux, a change, and it took generational change. And the South rose again, but not as a bunch of racist Democrats. They actually learned that racism and division was wrong. They learned that education was important. Now we're starting to see places in the South which are leading the nation in the last 2 to 3 years with their educational systems, and they've been dead last for decades. We're starting to see that racism is being dissolved from the South. And isn't it amazing that you're trying to tell me that when Republicans took over the South, it got less racist? Oh, wow. So let me make sure I understand this. The Democrats had to leave the South in order for it to become less racist? Oh, fuck. It's almost like, oh, geez, the great party switch. Fuck you. People need to read books.
That's the problem.
Yeah. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do this. I've been sharing a lot of Crowder lately. We have 6 minutes. We're going to leave at 9:30. We're sharing a lot of Crowder.
You should do the funny one too.
I'm going to do that. I've got it right there for you. I'm kind of saving that for last.
Yeah, that's the one.
Can you stop banging on the table?
I'm sorry.
Thanks. Compassion and doing the job. There might come some reality that's needed for the U.S. population, specifically the Democrats, that maybe we just can't be very compassionate to do the hard things we have to do. It's going to be tough to be compassionate to split apart families. It's going to be hard to take people who are good people who are here illegally and treat them just like the criminals that are here and doing horrible things, because they still are breaking the law. It's going to be really hard. So for everyone like, oh God, you need to be more compassionate. No, we don't. We need to be assertive, we need to be disciplined, and we need to be consistent in the way we do things. Compassion is not necessary. Now, do we need to beat the shit out of people and hurt them? No, because the opposite of lacking compassion isn't to beat people to a pulp. It just means that you have to make decisive decisions over emotions. You need to have logical decisions, lawful decisions over emotions. That's the opposite of compassion, is you can't be complacent, you can't be dissident, you can't be violent, but you can remove emotion from the equation. It doesn't always have to be black and white. There can be some gray area, and that's what Crowder's trying to say here, and his lovely co-host, who I have no idea what his name is. I just listened to him, and I've never learned his name.
Something to Joe Rogan, because I think he's living in a false, I don't know, he's got this like false dichotomy set up where the compassionate thing and the pragmatic thing are not the same thing, but they actually are. Mm-hmm. The pragmatic thing is compassionate.
Yeah.
It's compassionate to American citizens. And it's a compassionate in at least the following ways. Housing prices and rents will go down. Jobs will be gotten by American citizens instead of jobs being stolen. You'll have lower crime in most of these places, not because all immigrants are criminals, but because when you force people to live in kind of a shadow economy, there's crime, they get taken advantage of. It's a much more dangerous place. Healthcare. will go down significantly because when people that are illegal, they use the emergency rooms and hospitals pass that expense on to the consumers. That's why healthcare costs go up in a large part. And billions of dollars in aid that is given to these people that is essentially stolen or sent out of the country won't be leaving the country anymore.
Yeah.
That's compassion. That's very compassionate to the American citizen. I don't know why we don't think of the American citizen as the primary focus and then start from there. Right now, we seem to be prioritizing illegal aliens and trying to be compassionate towards them. And I'm like, yes, look, we can do that too.
Yeah.
But start with me. I'm the guy who's bought into the system. I'm a member. I thought there were privileges with membership here. Start with me, then go out. And I don't know why people keep thinking you have to make a choice on one side or the other. The pragmatic decision is the most compassionate choice you can make, period.
Isn't that interesting? Interesting. There's ancillary benefits for being pragmatic. Isn't that what we just said? Is that you don't have to lead with compassion, that there is a benefit for removing people in this country who are here illegally. And although the compassion may not be transferred to them, it depends what our priorities are. And the priority should be always the American citizen. That is the person we put first, because it should be America first. It doesn't mean we can't do this with a sense of purpose, that we can't do this with a standard. But compassion isn't necessary. Compassion is the ancillary benefit that takes place once we remove these people from our country. And we don't have to kill them. We don't have to mass put them in cattle cars. We don't need to have Zyklon B. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is we're going to put you where you are supposed to be, which is your own country. And if you want to come here, you'll come here legally, or you won't come at all. That is the most compassionate thing we can do, because it sets them up for success. Trust me, it's much better to be here legally than it is illegally.
Yeah, and the 1.5 million self-deportations, that means that they want to be an American citizen and they just haven't been able to. So they're going to come back legally and do it the correct way. Yeah,
I completely agree. Folks, $50 away. I have to be hard on this. We can't, the jackets are expensive. It's $250 for 2 jackets. And we understand we're trying to be as kind as we can. We've already taken away $150 off of our goal of 2 jackets. The rule is kind of 1 jacket, $500. That's what we've done. We're hoping that we can hit that final 50 and do that. And we'll see what happens. We've got a few more minutes, and we're going to end with this video that Olivia wanted me to show you. Olivia, what is this?
This is somebody who works for the Jesse Waters Show went out in the street and started asking questions, simple questions that people should know. And it's really scary watching the answers that are given or lack thereof not given.
Would you have known all these without you being a part of this show over the last couple of years?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you're smarter than you were?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. When it comes to politics and stuff like
Totally.
that. Yes. But no, these are not hard questions. This isn't A plus B equals Y and C equals whatever. This is, what's heavier, a pound of bricks or a pound of feathers?
Don't tell them what's coming. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Simple.
You gotta let them watch it.
Simple. But it's really scary and where our education system is.
Are some of these like riddles, trick questions? Or are they pretty... Okay, here we go. Let's
nope,
watch
and
it.
they're all adults,
all right,
too.
Let's watch
That's
it.
the scary
Let's watch it. I'm ready. Let's go.
Driving 60 miles per hour, how long does it take you to drive 60 miles?
Oh, hi, puppy.
I have no clue. Why does this seem so hard? This should seem simple. A minute?
Hour and a half, 2 hours maybe? I don't know. An hour?
Would it be 30 minutes?
You've lost a lot of credibility.
If you're out to dinner, you're paying the bill's $100, you're giving the waitress 20%, how much
$20.
is she getting?
Man, I'm a chef too, ain't this some bullshit?
I'm really bad at math. Don't ask me any more math questions. $15?
$50.
$30?
$20.
$120. I'm locking that in.
I was like, duh.
Spell the word restaurant.
Oh, that one's a difficult
hate this
one for me.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm a worst bird. It's crazy. Y'all got me
R-E-S-T-E-R-A-U-N-T.
There's no E. Yeah, there is.
Yes, there's no E?
Yeah, hang on. Wait, I heard
There's
it.
no
here.
E? What are you talking about? Hold on.
N-T.
Restaurant.
S-T-A-U-R-A-N-T.
R-E-S.
There is no
T.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Hey.
I'm horrible with it.
Oh.
I'm with you, dude. I can't spell. It's one of the only words I can't spell. Like, seriously, I struggle with restaurant. I always do.
Definitely is the hard one for me.
It is?
Yes, I have a hard time with definitely.
Oh, definitely. I can't
Yes.
stand restaurant. Like, it's horrible. Like, and I'm a pretty solid speller. I can't do that. Oh my gosh, in it to win it. We're $25 away, folks. $25 away. Maureen Davidson just chimed in. $25, folks. That puts us $25 away from 2 jackets. In it to win it. We're close. Let's watch the rest of this. Hopefully we can get another 25.
What does CEO stand for?
Chief Executive Officer.
Oh gosh.
I don't know.
Corporate entertainer organizer.
Oh, that's good.
Chief Executive Officer.
Thank you, Maureen.
Want to put our heads together?
Yeah.
She looks like an English Kristen
I'll get
Chenoweth.
it. I'll never forget it now. Rest you're an ant. No, I can't do it. I hate that word. Hate that word. But
she looks like an English Kristen Chenoweth. So
Mike, why do you always focus on the negative, dude? First of all, you make fun of my eyes and tell me I have dark circles under my eyes when it's just like a cell phone video. Now you're upset with my title. I missed the date. I'm tired. I'm sorry, Mikey. I'm doing the best I can.
No, I don't know.
Didn't work?
No.
Damn it.
It's very frustrating. I can't even tell you.
What body of water is on the east coast of the United States?
Pacific Ocean.
Atlantic, you moron.
The Atlantic Ocean.
Mediterranean.
The Hudson River.
I thought that would have been an easier one, but I think we're making progress.
How many inches are in a foot?
I don't know that.
12.
18?
7.
12 inches in a foot.
I have no idea how many. I don't know how big my foot is actually.
I'm not sure I understand the question here.
What is heavier, a pound of bricks or a pound of feathers?
It depends if you're going by overall mass versus volume.
But all they're asking is the weight.
No, because there's one that's heavier and there's one that's not, depending upon the overall weight you're looking for. Weight has different properties than just pounds. Yeah, there is only one answer, but the point is, it depends. It depends. Is it mass or volume that you're looking for? Okay, you're right.
Weight.
1 pound.
I didn't say the mass.
Pound of bricks.
Bricks will be denser, so bricks.
Bricks, of course.
1 pound of bricks or 1 pound of feathers?
Bricks.
1 pound of bricks and 1 pound.
Let me ask you a question. Would you rather have a pound of bricks on your chest or a pound of feathers? Yes, it does, Melanie. Of course it does. You're telling me that mass and volume aren't 2 weights of measurement?
I would rather
I'm going to prove it to you right now, Melanie. What would you rather have on your chest? A pound of feathers or a pound of bricks?
Pound of bricks, there'd like only be 1.
Okay, what would happen if you put a pound of feathers all over?
You'd be like freaking suffocating.
Thank you very much. There is a difference between the weight of a pound of feathers and a pound of bricks because mass or volume. Like seriously, folks. Seriously, folks.
You're looking way too hard. This is
not.
like a second grade
No, but
riddle.
you're telling me that mass is a form of mass and volume are not a measurement of weight. Of course they are. I'm just trying to tell you that there is no difference between a pound of bricks and a pound of feathers from overall weight. But if you look at mass and volume, there is a difference between those two. I just proved it to you.
Yes, I know that. But they're not asking for mass. They're asking for the weight, the specific weight.
What do you think mass is? Mass is
play
weight.
the video.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that this rudimentary education doesn't encapsulate an educated person who passed the 6th grade. I'm sorry. I went too high. I apologize. Let's get back to elementary school education. You're right.
Pound of feathers, what is heavier?
1 pound of bricks.
They're the same.
How is that?
Because they're both 1 pound.
JD Stillwell says 1 pound of cash.
The Hudson River.
I thought that would have been an easier one, but I think we're making progress.
How many inches are in a foot?
I don't know that, man.
18?
7.
12 inches in a foot.
I have no idea how many. I don't know how big my foot is actually.
I'm not sure I understand the question here.
Is this repeating now?
No,
What is
I think you hit
heavier,
rewind
a pound of
on it
bricks
for some reason.
or a pound of feathers? Pound.
There you go.
They both weigh a pound. Yes! That was too easy.
That's a ridiculous question for me to be given.
Who wrote the Gettysburg Address?
No idea with that one. I'm sorry.
That's the that was at war with the, that was way back in the day with the Gettysburg War. His name is Getty.
Abraham Lincoln.
Donald Trump.
It's my
That guy's got a college
to be here in
education.
Gettysburg.
What do you want to tell Jesse Waters on Fox News?
I don't know how you expect me to know who wrote the Battle of Gettysburg or whatever the is the name of it. Spaghettysburg.
Here's the hardest question of them all. Do you know who I am?
No. Mass and weight are directly related, folks. Weight is the force exerted on a mass by gravity. Change the mass and the weight changes with it. You can't talk about weight without mass because weight literally depends on mass. End of conversation. Volume has nothing to do with it. The whole point of your argument is to remove volume from the equation. I understand where you guys are coming from. You guys understand. Okay. Here's the thing. You understand that addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction are the fundamentals that you need to do complex math, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, because you understand addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, you are guaranteed to be able to do complex math, right?
I guess.
No.
No.
Liv,
I can't.
you know how to add.
Mhm.
You know how to subtract.
Yes.
You know how to divide.
Yes.
You know how to multiply.
Yes.
Can you do algebra?
Not
No,
really.
and neither can I.
Not
So
really.
you understand that just because you understand the concept of weight, but that there also are other values of weight to consider besides just the overall mass of an object.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then we all understand what I'm saying. If you ask me, would you rather hold up a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks? Which one is it? You have a pound of bricks in one arm and a pound of bricks in the other. Which one do you want to hold up?
Pound of bricks.
Why?
Because it's smaller.
You definitely would probably want to do that because it's going to be easier to navigate. Haven't you ever tried to carry something that's the same weight as something else, but it's bulky, and you go, oh, this is so bulky. It weighs the exact same amount as that thing, but it's so bulky, I can't get a grip on it.
Yes.
So there's a difference.
Yes.
Okay. See, then I've given you real world examples. Don't be stubborn. Just be like, Matt, you're right. It's okay. It's okay to say that, people. Just be like, Matt, you're right. You're right. He didn't ask that question, but you should consider that. Did you just roll your eyes?
I did.
You, Olivia. Why?
Because you took a fun video and turned it into a freaking math lesson.
See,
it didn't have to be.
Glenn Allen Clark, it wasn't mass, it's physics. Glenn Allen Clark says, weight directly depends on mass and the local gravitational pull, described by the formula W equals mg, meaning an object's weight is the force of gravity on its constant mass. So more mass always means more weight in the same gravitational field. But weight changes with location like Earth and the moon, while mass stays the same. Oh, physics, science. Would you rather?
I've got another child riddle for you, and you can dissect it and tell me I'm wrong with the answer.
Loretta Lewis says it best. Size matters. That a girl.
Amen.
Good for you. Go ahead.
Yes. What gets wetter as it dries? That's it's a second. Oh my God. Seriously?
What gets wetter as it dries? Are we talking about you? Like Olivia. I don't know. Okay. Oh, I'm not done. You did. I was kidding. I'll take the answer.
Okay, what's the answer?
The answer would be a towel.
Yes. Now you're going to dissect it and tell me that there's some mathematical equation that makes the answer wrong?
Nope. No. Don't be. Do you remember when people would used to embrace intelligence? They wouldn't belittle it. They would, they'd just be like, wow. 82824. Are we going to hang out for $25? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to pimp it out. Get on the pole, Liv. We have to. It's those jackets are really expensive.
Why don't you show Yenny on the pole? Maybe She'll be able to pimp herself out for.
Folks, do you remember that a pie has that a pie that doesn't have crust on the top is not a pie?
Oh my God, we're not. No.
So we did that. So that was one that I trolled you guys on.
No.
Do you guys understand that sometimes I just kind of fuck with you just to get you guys riled up a little bit, and it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
They buy that hook, line, and sinker. They get upset. People get fired up. No, it's a pie. Really? Because you have to have crust on top to be a pie.
Not even going there. Not even going there.
1 gallon of water and a gallon of milk have the same mass and volume, but not the same weight. That's interesting. A gallon of water and a gallon of milk have the same mass and volume, but not the same weight.
We're going to try that when one of the gallons of milk.
Wait a second. What? Hold on. Wait, what? Hold on. What?
When one of the gallons of milk is empty, we'll fill it with water and put it on the scale. See what we come up with.
Hold on a second. Oh, that's right, because you would have to ultimately change the amount of volume in order to equate the same amount of weight based upon the density of the material. Holy shit, I think he's right. Hold on.
We can go run this. We can go run this.
We're waiting for $25. Hold on.
I'll go run the experiment.
No,
right now.
no, that's not right. That's not right. Nope, that's not right. Nope. The gallon of water and a gallon of milk have the same volume by definition, but they do not have the same mass, and therefore they do not have the same weight. Milk is denser than water because it contains fats, proteins, and sugars. The extra density means more mass packed into the same volume. Since weight is mass times gravity, more mass equals more weight. Same volume, different mass, different weight. On Earth, gravity, that's correct. It's the same argument I'm making about feathers and bricks. Is because you can't shove a pound of feathers into the same size that you can shove into bricks. So the equation of, well, a pound of feathers or a pound of bricks, well, it depends upon the equation. If I'm just looking at a pound of bricks and looking at a pound of feathers, yes, they weigh the same, but it depends upon the situation. Am I holding them? Am I carrying them? What is it? Am I putting them on a truck? So the weight measurement as standard as in weight as in pounds or kilograms, yes. But there are other measurements that are important and values of measurements to the equation. That's a good point. I didn't think about that with milk and water. I see. You learn something new every day. A gallon of water is 8 pounds, I believe. This is interesting. Milk is heavier. So you're agreeing with me. See how that works? Gallons of how much is it though for water? That's what I'm interested in. It makes sense that you're packing more because of the density of milk, which I figured out. But water, how much does that weigh? It's got to be a small amount, right? It's insignificant. It's probably like, what, 2 ounces or something? Somebody tell me. How big are the feathers? That's another great point.
Be ostrich feathers.
Right. If they're ostrich feathers, it's completely different. Seagull feathers, that's completely different. Owl feathers, it's completely different versus chickadee or whatever. These are all good points. How much is water?
Look at Yenny. She's staring down Ash because Ash is sleeping on her bed.
How much is a gallon of
and
water?
Yenny is not very happy.
So milk would be less?
Milk would be more.
No, it's, oh my God. Oh, I was so close. So close. I said 2 ounces. So 8, not 2 ounces. I meant 2/10 of a pound. Sorry. 2 16ths, 1/8. 1/4, 1/4 pound. Gallon of water weighs about 8.34 pounds. A gallon of milk weighs about 8.6 pounds. There we go. That's pretty cool. That's neat. That's neat. See? Science. Yes. Mr. Jonathan Nicholson. Oh, I'm going to say his name because it's not $1. I'm going to say his name. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right, Balls. Balls in with $25. He's in it to win it. And we'll ship it to Canada if you win. Put him in.
Easy.
Now be nice. Right? Be nice. I was nice to you. You got in with a donation. Now, can you be nice for at least a day? I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. We're out of here, folks. Thanks for watching the Don't Unfriend Me show. It was fun. Good stuff. Interesting. Kimberly Ann says, what kind of milk? Ooh, now we're really seeing.
Yeah, because whole milk's different than skim.
Yeah, because it's more water. So there's a whole, see, now you guys are cooking. Now, see, you're seeing the problem. You're not just seeing the solution. You're seeing the problem. That's what you need to do. You need to look at every variable and find out what's important and what's not. And remember, if you're not carrying it, then who gives a fuck? It's a pound. But if you are, that changes the parameters of the question. These are important things to do. This is the way my mind works, the way Leroy mind works. Well, did we get another one?
Yes.
Don Martin in it to win it, $25. ATX Pager says ChatGPT didn't specify that. Well, that's why you don't use ChatGPT. You can use it for definitions and stuff, but don't let it be your brain for you. Don Martin, $25. This will get someone else in the running. All right, folks, we're going to leave. Hey, do me a favor. Have a great weekend. If anything breaks over...
What?
Someone said chocolate milk. Of course, chocolate's always bigger.
Oh my God.
Chocolate's genetically is always bigger, baby. Once you go brown, you never... Okay. So, welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show and good night. Listen, if something happens in Iran, we'll come on special. Something happens on the weekend, as always. I want you guys to have a great weekend. Disconnect. Get away from it. Go to church. Say hi to God. Go say hi to a friend you haven't talked to in a long while. We love you guys. We're going to go celebrate our night. Is Balls going to behave? Oh, hey, he gave $25. I'm going to at least give him a call out for it. Let's have a great night. Let's have a good one. Let's take care of each other. Let's have a good weekend. Let's go Broncos. Let's go Colorado Avalanche. We'll see you guys on the flip side. See you Monday.
Night, y'all.
Thanks for everything. 2 jackets will be given out. 2 on Monday. Be here or be square. Good night.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, and Olivia. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on all major social media channels at The Dumb Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.